Under a scorching sun where the sand is hot enough to fry an egg, a creature strolls leisurely, like the undisputed king of this arid land. The camel, nature's mystery, is perfectly programmed to survive in the harshest of conditions. But what fascinates people even more is how far the camel has come to become part of modern cuisine, featured in some of the world's most luxurious dishes. From sun-scorched barren lands, the desert gives rise to precious gifts. Camel milk, often called the white gold of the desert, is not only rich in nutrients, but also holds significant economic value. Meanwhile, camel meat, packed with exceptional nutritional content, is hailed as a superfood of the desert, offering far more benefits than many conventional meats. Today, join Agriculture Insight as we cross the searing sand dunes, follow the steady footsteps of the ships of the desert, and step inside modern factories where every drop of camel milk and every cut of meat is transformed into high-end products. Can you believe it? The animal famously known as the desert warrior, deeply associated with arid lands, was actually not born in the desert. Surprisingly, its ancestors once roamed the lush highlands of North America. Over millions of years of evolution and migration, camels gradually adapted and transformed, ultimately becoming the enduring symbol of survival in some of the harshest environments on Earth. Here's a fun fact. Up to 90% of people mistakenly believe that a camel's hump stores water, but in reality, it stores fat. This fat helps camels sustain their energy during long periods without food. When the hump starts to shrink, it's a sign that the camel is running low on energy and needs nutritional replenishment. Camels are truly the ultimate desert warriors. Armed with 3 layers of eyelashes to fend off sand, powerful legs that carry them over 64 kilometers a day without tiring, ears that can detect distant sandstorms, and nostrils that filter out dust effortlessly, even while they're enjoying lunch. Under the blazing sun, one by one, cargo ships arrive, carrying very special passengers, tall, majestic camels. Soon after, these camels are carefully loaded into specialized containers, bidding farewell to the burning sand dunes behind them as they head toward a new land, where cutting-edge modern factories await. These camels are transported from traditional breeding regions in the United Arab Emirates to countries like Australia and several parts of Europe, where the camel milk industry is gradually emerging as a highly promising sector, attracting growing interest and major investment from around the world. Not only does the camel have a unique body structure, it also possesses a remarkable reproductive mechanism. Unlike many other animals, female camels do not ovulate on a regular cycle. They only release eggs in response to the presence and courtship of a male. This makes fertilization more complex, often requiring human intervention such as controlled mating schedules or artificial insemination. Pregnancy lasts up to 13 months and typically results in the birth of a single calf. In harsh desert environments, if not carefully monitored, the risk of the calf suffocating in the womb is real, with an estimated occurrence of about 1 in every 100 births. Yet, despite the challenges, newborn camels are surprisingly resilient. Within just a few hours of birth, they can stand, take their first shaky steps, and begin following their mother, ready to embark on their journey of survival in the unforgiving desert. After giving birth, a mother camel becomes the white gold factory of the desert, producing precious milk that sustains the entire herd. However, milking a camel is far from simple. Camels are highly sensitive animals. They only release milk when their calf is nearby. That's why, before each milking session, the young calf must be brought close to the mother to trigger her natural biological response. The person milking the camel must be gentle, patient, and attuned to the animal's emotions. Every movement must be calm and steady, as even a slight sense of stress or disrespect can cause the camel to stop producing milk immediately, rendering all efforts futile. In modern farms, this process is elevated with the support of standard livestock housing systems and automatic milking machines. The mother camels are placed in separate stalls in an orderly fashion to avoid overcrowding and reduce stress. Here, the staff gently cleans the teats with warm water and antiseptic solution, ensuring hygiene while helping the camels relax before the milking process begins. The automatic milking machine designed for camels has a special structure, with soft suction tubes that mimic the natural sucking motion of a camel calf. This system operates smoothly, gently, and quietly, effectively stimulating the milk glands without causing discomfort to the mother camel. After milking, the milk is transferred through a closed pipe system and directly into a cooling tank to maintain its freshness and prevent bacterial growth. While camel milk is praised as the golden milk of the desert, with a wide range of health benefits, many of its miraculous properties, such as curing autism and combating diabetes, remain in the realm of folklore rather than scientific evidence. Camel milk, after being quickly cooled in stainless steel tanks, is transported by specialized tanker trucks to the processing plant. Here, the milk goes through a multi-layer filtration system to remove any sediment and fine impurities before undergoing a high-temperature pasteurization process for a short period. This method helps to eliminate harmful bacteria while retaining the natural flavor and valuable nutrients of the camel milk. After the milk has been pasteurized, the bottling process begins with bottle cleaning. Empty plastic bottles are fed into the production line, flipped upside down, and sprayed with hot water or a high-pressure disinfectant solution. Each bottle is thoroughly sterilized to ensure no bacteria or impurities remain that could affect the milk's quality. Next, the bottles are moved to the filling station. Here, an automated filling machine pumps milk into each bottle with high precision. Bottles are positioned under the filling heads, where sensors and automated controllers ensure that each bottle is filled with the exact standard volume of milk, while minimizing any leakage or contamination during the process. Immediately after filling, the bottles are sealed using an automatic capping machine, which tightly secures the caps to prevent leaks. Finally, the finished bottles are transported to the plastic crate packing area. After packing, the products are moved into a temporary cold storage facility, awaiting shipment to distribution centers or supermarkets. In addition to bottled milk products, a portion of the processed camel milk is directed to the cheese-making area, a premium product line often associated with the elite and discerning gourmets. After careful pasteurization, the milk is enriched with specialized cultures and enzymes to initiate the natural coagulation process. Under ideal temperature conditions, the milk gradually thickens and forms a smooth, soft curd. Once the desired level of coagulation is reached, the curd is cut into small pieces, gently drained of whey, and placed into molds for shaping. The molds are then transferred to an aging room, where temperature and humidity are strictly controlled to cultivate the cheese's signature texture and flavor. After an aging process that can last from several days to a few weeks, smooth ivory white wheels of camel cheese are born. More than just an exotic delicacy, they represent the rare essence of a precious raw ingredient and refined craftsmanship, a true culinary gem from the distant deserts. At modern processing plants, camel meat is handled through a closed-loop system that strictly adheres to international food safety standards. Immediately after preliminary processing, the camel carcass is suspended on an automated conveyor system, moving smoothly and precisely through each stage of the operation. The carcass then continues along the processing line to the deboning section. Here, it is first split in half using a specialized cutting saw, then divided into major muscle groups such as the shoulder, thigh, and loin. The deboning process is carried out either by a high-precision mechanical blade system or by experienced technicians, ensuring the complete removal of bones, excess fat, tendons, and unwanted connective tissues. After being split in half, the two sides of the carcass are placed by skilled workers onto specialized work tables or moved along to the next conveyor belt for further breakdown. With the aid of professional cutting knives and cut-resistant gloves, they begin separating the meat based on the anatomical structure. Each movement is swift and precise, following the natural muscle lines and joint connections to maximize meat yield and ensure clean, well-shaped cuts that are easy to package. Premium cuts are separated and sent to specialized trimming or high-end packaging areas, while remaining portions such as lean trimmings or fat are collected for ground meat or processed food products. After being properly sorted and processed, the meat is transferred to the packaging area, where the entire process is carried out in a cold environment to maintain freshness. Depending on the intended use, the meat may be vacuum-packed, sealed in shrink-wrap trays, or placed in sterilized plastic bags. Automated packaging machines accurately weigh each portion and wrap it with specialized, leak-proof materials designed to protect the product. Once sealed, each package is labeled automatically with complete information: product name, meat type, weight, production date, expiration date, storage instructions, batch number, and a QR code for traceability. This packaging process not only preserves product quality, but also facilitates its efficient storage and distribution. Portioned or ground meat products are also packaged in the same way, with predetermined weights according to standardized packaging formats, ensuring convenience for use and distribution, while also meeting food safety requirements and maintaining visual appeal on store shelves. In the natural world, only a handful of species possess the ability to regenerate a body part, and deer are one of nature's rare miracles. Each year at the start of spring, a deer's old antlers fall off, and from the base, a new life begins to emerge. That new growth is velvet antler, soft, developing antlers nourished by a dense network of blood vessels, rich in collagen and rare minerals. Surprisingly, harvesting velvet not only causes no harm, but actually brings relief to the deer when the antlers grow too large. This is a sustainable, annual process that reflects a humane way of working with nature. Behind their gentle appearance and innocent eyes, deer can sometimes become unintended troublemakers in modern life. In the US, there are over 1.5 million deer-related vehicle collisions each year, most occurring in the fall, when they dart across highways during mating season. Beyond traffic hazards, deer also sneak into people's backyards, devouring vegetables and tearing up flower beds, leaving scenes of chaos that make homeowners shake their heads in frustration. So what have humans done to turn this unruly creature into a source of highly prized products? It all begins on lush, peaceful farms full of life, where these citizens of the crimson velvet don't merely exist, but enjoy a life truly worthy of their four-legged nobility. Deer farms typically span 5 to 10 hectares, meticulously planned to combine enclosed barns with open grazing areas. This setup allows for attentive care while still preserving the natural rhythms and instincts of these unique animals. Inside the barns are sturdy, well-ventilated stalls with clean flooring, fixed feeding troughs, and even a dedicated mini clinic to monitor the herd's health. But it's the outdoor space that truly feels like home for the deer. In these open areas, they can move freely and bask in sunlight, a vital source of vitamin D that supports metabolism and bone development. Conversely, if confined to closed or cramped spaces for extended periods, deer can experience stress, which negatively affects the overall health and uniformity of the herd. The key factor behind a pair of smooth, symmetrical, and glossy antlers lies in the deer's diet. As herbivores, Deer have a particular fondness for fresh, tender grass shoots found on open pastures. But they're not picky eaters. In fact, deer are known for their surprisingly adventurous palate. From sweet watermelon slices to a few M&Ms offered by curious visitors, they'll gladly give almost anything a try and usually polish it off in no time. That's why, to ensure even and healthy antler growth, the deer's diet at farms is carefully calculated, balancing energy, protein, and essential minerals. In addition to fresh grass, they're given a custom nutritional mix made from ground corn, soybeans, rice bran, and vital micronutrients, all finely milled and pelletized for easier digestion and optimal nutrient absorption. At feeding time, the herd leisurely follows a red feed cart as it winds its way through the open fields. The pellets are evenly scattered across the grass, allowing each deer to naturally and orderly access its share. And then, harvest season arrives. When the antlers reach their ideal maturity, typically between 50 and 70 days, they are considered ready for collection. This is when the velvet is at its peak nutritional value. Blood vessels are still highly active, while the bone tissue inside has yet to begin ossifying, maximizing both the biological and medicinal benefits of the product. At larger farms, or in cases where the deer are particularly skittish and unwilling to enter restraint systems, remote tranquilizer darts may be used. Unlike what's seen in action movies, these tools are designed to deliver a mild sedative that simply induces light sleep, allowing the deer to gently lie down without resistance. After being sedated, deer are often blindfolded to reduce stress and minimize environmental stimuli. Even under sedation, they may still react to light or sound, so covering their eyes helps keep them calm and prevents sudden movements. Additionally, the blindfold protects their eyes from dust or accidental contact during transport. This simple measure plays an important role in ensuring the deer's safety and comfort. Before harvesting velvet antlers, farms must carry out thorough inspections. The person in charge uses a specialized measuring tool to determine the length and diameter of the antlers, while also observing their color, sheen, and surface temperature. After that, the deer is given mild anesthesia or local anesthesia to ensure it feels no pain. Technicians wear medical gloves and use specialized instruments to carry out the procedure. A tourniquet or intravenous catheter is placed around the base of the antlers to minimize bleeding during removal. Once the antlers are secured, the velvet is carefully cut using a specialized saw, followed by immediate sterilization and bleeding control. The entire process is conducted with great care and under sterile conditions to ensure the animal's safety and preserve the quality of the harvested velvet. After the velvet is harvested, the deer are taken to a separate pen lined with dry straw to rest and recover. They are closely monitored for several days to ensure their condition stabilizes. This is a high-precision procedure, carefully controlled to minimize pain, so much so that many deer are able to stand and walk again just a few hours later. No longer bearing the proud antlers like a regal crown on their heads, the deer return to their gentle, bewildered appearance, quietly awaiting the start of a new cycle. Soon after, the special journey of the velvet antlers continues at the processing facility, where each young pair is transformed into a valuable medicinal product. Each batch first goes through a preliminary inspection line, where weight, color, shape, and thickness are assessed. Based on these criteria, the antlers are carefully sorted to group samples with similar characteristics. The first step in processing deer velvet involves immersing it in boiling water. The antlers are placed into large vats where the temperature is maintained precisely at 100 degrees Celsius, not a degree more or less, as any fluctuation could alter the internal protein structure. This is one of the most critical stages of the entire process. It helps fix the shape of the velvet, gently cooks the living tissue without denaturing its active compounds, and also serves as a natural sterilization method. Thanks to this treatment, the velvet retains its color, texture, and medicinal properties for the next stages of processing. Once cooked at the appropriate temperature, each pair of deer velvet is carefully removed and moved on to the next stage, drying. Depending on the desired final product, the factory may choose thermal drying in ovens, in a sealed room with fully controlled temperature and humidity, or natural air drying in a well-ventilated space with large windows. During drying, deer velvet can lose up to 60 to 70% of its original weight due to moisture evaporation. This significant reduction is one of the reasons why dried velvet becomes more valuable, reflecting the loss during the production process. When the surface reaches the desired level of dryness, the velvet is subjected to flame singeing using a gas torch. A gentle, precise blue flame passes over the outer layer to remove any remaining fine hairs without burning or damaging the velvet's internal structure. Once thoroughly cleaned, deer velvet enters the slicing stage, the moment when the hidden secrets within each antler are revealed. Who would have thought that beneath the soft fur lies a vivid, circulatory map filled with thousands of tiny, precious capillaries? Depending on the intended use, velvet can be sliced lengthwise to preserve the full tissue structure, which is ideal for products that utilize the whole piece. At the factory, deer velvet is typically cross-cut using specialized machines, producing uniformly thin slices just 1 to 2 millimeters thick. What's remarkable is that no two slices ever look exactly the same. Like fingerprints, each pair of antlers has its own unique biological grain, making the assessment of premium-grade velvet sometimes rely on both visual inspection and expert experience. After being carefully sliced into thin, even pieces, deer velvet undergoes a final drying phase, known as the finishing dry. This step is crucial to ensure absolute dryness in each slice, preventing the growth of bacteria, mold, or other harmful agents during long-term storage. Finally, each slice of velvet is carefully packaged in elegant boxes, sealed, labeled for traceability, and prepared to enter the market, carrying with it the long storage journey from the forest to the hands of the consumer. In addition to velvet, the most valuable part of the antlers, venison is also selectively harvested, typically from older deer, those no longer capable of reproduction, or individuals that do not meet physical standards for continued breeding. At the appropriate time, these deer are sent to a biosecure processing facility where premium quality meat is produced. This meat is high in protein, low in fat, and especially rich in natural iron. From there, each subsequent stage is carried out in a professional, step-by-step manner, using specialized machinery combined with the skilled hands of trained technicians. The meat is then vacuum sealed and deep frozen to preserve its fresh flavor and texture throughout the entire transportation process to the end consumer. While certain individuals are selectively harvested for meat, the healthiest and most superior deer take on a different, vital mission: preserving and enhancing the genetic quality of future generations. Depending on farming conditions and breeding objectives, farmers may choose between natural mating and artificial insemination. In natural breeding, top-quality stags are carefully selected, strong, genetically sound, with a history of large, well-balanced, high-quality antlers, and released into the doe herd during the breeding season, typically from late autumn to early winter. In these spacious semi-wild environments, natural encounters occur instinctively, helping maintain genetic diversity and pass on desirable traits. However, in large-scale farms or when strict genetic control is required, artificial insemination becomes the ideal choice. Semen from superior stags is collected and cryopreserved under sterile conditions, then introduced into the female at the precise moment of ovulation, determined by monitoring physiological cycles and specific behavioral signs. Although this method demands high technical expertise and precision, it allows for better genetic control, is not dependent on weather conditions, and enables selective breeding using only the very best individuals. During pregnancy, the doe is carefully monitored and given regular ultrasounds to track fetal development, determine gestational age, and detect any early signs of abnormalities. After about 7 months of pregnancy, the doe begins to go into labor, usually at dawn or dusk, when the surroundings are quiet and the light is soft. Each birth typically results in a single fawn, and the process unfolds gently and naturally, just as nature intended. Moments after birth, the newborn fawn struggles to lift itself on its trembling legs. Though still clumsy, its strong survival instincts drive it to stand and seek out its first taste of milk, rich in antibodies and essential nutrients for its fragile body. Within the first week, the fawn is given an identification mark, usually a small tattoo or an ear tag, and receives its first vaccine to begin building long-term immunity. By the end of the first month, once its digestive system has stabilized, the fawn begins to nibble on tender grass and is gradually introduced to concentrate feed, a high-energy blend made from natural ingredients. This marks the beginning of its journey toward maturity and the silent formation of the strong antlers it will one day grow. Imagine standing in the vast highlands, where the wind never stops, and herds of alpacas quietly weave their own rhythm of life. Welcome to Peru, home to over 4 million alpacas, accounting for nearly 80% of the world's total population. Today, the footprint of alpacas has reached distant countries like Bolivia, Chile, the United States, Australia, and New Zealand, where they are not only raised for their fiber, but have also become symbols of sustainable, eco-friendly agriculture. One remarkable thing about alpacas is their incredible emotional sensitivity. If you approach them with patience and gentleness, they'll reflect that same gentle presence. But if they happen to encounter an overly eager visitor or even a grumpy farmer, a fluffy drama queen won't hesitate to unleash her signature move, spitting. Have you ever experienced that kind of moment in life? Behind that mischievous charm, the alpaca carries a natural treasure, a fleece that is soft, lightweight, warm, and virtually hypoallergenic compared to regular sheep's wool, thanks to its lack of lanolin. That's why this fiber is highly coveted by fashion houses like Loro Piana, Prada, and Armani, bringing in billions of dollars each year. And like every journey, it all begins on the farm, a place where sustainability meets compassion, and each alpaca is known by name and treated like one of their own. Unlike cows, goats, or sheep, alpacas eat very little, living mainly on natural grasses and hay. No industrial feed is needed, just lay out clean grass, and they'll calmly wander over to graze. There's a fascinating truth. The happiness of an alpaca is the golden key to producing premium quality fleece. That's why most alpacas are raised in semi-free or rotational grazing systems across vast highland pastures like those in the Andes. This approach not only reduces feeding costs, but also allows the animals to move freely, stay relaxed, and maintain optimal fleece quality. What's more, when grazing naturally, alpacas don't uproot the grass. They only nibble the tops. This protects the soil and helps preserve vegetation. Their unique 3-compartment stomach also makes digestion highly efficient, allowing them to absorb maximum nutrients from minimal food. It's this remarkable ability to eat less and thrive that makes the alpaca an ideal choice for sustainable farming, where even a handful of grass contributes to the making of some of the world's most precious fibers. But of course, to produce truly premium fleece from happy alpacas, a healthy diet alone isn't enough. Daily care is equally essential. From cleaning the barns regularly, since each alpaca can relieve itself up to a dozen times a day, to carefully managing vaccinations and parasite control, every task is done with precision and respect. Breeding is also strictly managed through selective mating programs, aimed at improving both the fineness and color quality of the fleece. As a result, alpacas now produce over 22 naturally occurring fleece colors, making them one of the most color-diverse fiber animals in the world. And when it comes to pregnancy, alpacas are given just as much care. If you're familiar with how horses or cattle are cared for during gestation, you'll be glad to know that alpacas receive the same level of attention, including regular ultrasound checks to ensure the fetus is developing healthily. After nearly a year of pregnancy, the mother alpaca typically gives birth to a single baby while standing, and the delivery is gentle, guided by the patient instincts of a nurturing mother. The newborn, known as a cria, weighs around 6 to 9 kilograms at birth. What's especially remarkable is that, despite some initial wobbliness, the cria can usually stand up and take its first brave steps within less than an hour after being born. Over the next 2 to 3 years, this tiny creature will grow into a full-grown alpaca weighing between 55 and 80 kilograms, ready to enter the next chapter of its life, its very first shearing. Before the process begins, the alpacas are brought into a quiet, clean area to help minimize stress. This step is especially important because alpacas are extremely sensitive animals. Even being handled the wrong way can cause them to panic or fall into a state of severe stress. That's why, to ensure the safety of both the animal and the handlers, alpacas are usually gently restrained with soft straps or laid on their side over padded mats, a far more comfortable approach compared to suspending sheep during shearing. But don't be misled into thinking that shearing is a burden for alpacas. Without it, their fleece grows heavy and dense, limiting their steps, trapping heat, and quietly placing their well-being at risk. Shearing lets them stay light and free, ready to roam, breathe, and enjoy the soft embrace of summer wind. Each alpaca can produce between 2 to 4 kilograms of fiber per shearing season. And among that, the fleece from the very first shearing, known as baby alpaca, is always more valuable due to its exceptional fineness and uniquely soft texture. This means that each harvest season, thousands of tons of alpaca fleece are only halfway through their journey, traveling from remote highland pastures to modern factories, where they are cleaned, sorted, refined, and spun into premium fibers destined for the world of luxury fashion. After harvest, alpaca fleece is carefully packed into large bags and transported to artisanal processing facilities. Here, a meticulous and entirely manual process begins. Workers open each bag by hand and spread the fleece across wide tables for inspection. With trained eyes and experienced hands, they sort the fibers by natural color, length, softness, and cleanliness. This is no simple task. A single facility may receive hundreds of kilograms of fleece per day, and every piece must be evaluated individually. The finest fibers, known as baby alpaca, are carefully separated, while coarser strands are set aside for products like blankets or rugs. The entire process is carried out without the use of heavy machinery, preserving the fiber's natural structure and intrinsic value. It is here, between skilled hands and quiet dedication, that the journey of turning a humble strand of fleece into a luxurious, sustainable product truly begins. Once sorted, the alpaca fibers continue their journey along conveyor belts to the washing area, where a deep cleaning process combined with preliminary combing begins. Because alpaca fleece doesn't contain natural oils like the lanolin found in sheep's wool, this cleaning stage is considerably gentler and requires neither harsh chemicals nor high-temperature water. It's a process that's more environmentally friendly and especially suitable for sensitive skin, which needs to be treated with extra care. At this stage, the fleece is soaked in warm water, around 45 to 55 degrees Celsius, mixed with biodegradable soap. Throughout the washing process, while the temperature isn't high enough to boil a chicken egg, it's just warm enough to soften the fibers, making combing more effective, detangling, removing debris, and aligning the strands in one direction. On average, each batch of alpaca fleece goes through 3 to 4 cycles of rinsing and combing to achieve optimal cleanliness and softness, preparing it for the next step, being spun into premium quality yarn. After being thoroughly washed and carefully combed, the alpaca fibers are moved to the drying area. Here, they are placed in specialized dryers operating at a controlled temperature of around 60 degrees Celsius, the ideal level for removing moisture while preserving the fiber's natural softness and structure. The drying process is gentle and even, allowing each strand to maintain its elasticity and original quality. Once the alpaca fibers are fully dried, they enter a pivotal phase in their transformation, the carding stage. This process detangles, straightens, and softens the fibers, turning them into a uniform, airy mass, an ideal condition for spinning. During this stage, the fibers are fed through a series of rotating drums covered in fine wire teeth, which act like intricate combs. These rollers remove any remaining impurities and align the fibers in the same direction. The result is continuous, lightweight, and breathable fiber strands called mica. Depending on the machine and fiber fineness, each carding unit can process 15 to 30 kilograms of fleece per hour. After formation, the mica strands are wound into large rolls for storage or passed directly to the spinning section. This roll form not only preserves the quality of the fiber, but also facilitates handling in the next stages. Carding plays a crucial role, not just in enhancing the texture and workability of the fiber, but in ensuring even twist and tension during spinning. Thanks to this delicate yet essential process, alpaca fleece begins to take shape, on its way to becoming soft, durable yarns that fuel the future of sustainable fashion. From thick mica slivers, the entire process continues with full mechanization. The alpaca fibers are fed into industrial spinning machines, where they are precisely stretched and twisted to form fine, consistent, and durable single yarns. Once complete, these yarns are automatically wound onto bobbins or cones, ready for the next stage. Before entering the weaving phase, the single yarns undergo a plying process, in which 2 or more strands are twisted together in the opposite direction of the original spin. This enhances strength, stability, and ensures a more even texture in the finished fabric. Next, in fully automated weaving frames, the alpaca yarns are intricately interlaced to produce a variety of fabric types. From here, soft scarves, cozy sweaters, and other high-end garments are born, delivering not only production efficiency, but also preserving the elegance and refinement that define alpaca fiber. Beyond being woven into its natural form, alpaca fiber also embarks on a vibrant journey, the dyeing and finishing process. The dyeing process typically occurs at a gentle 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, using biodegradable, eco-friendly dyes that preserve the softness of the fiber while protecting the surrounding ecosystem. After dyeing, the yarn is carefully dried and moves into the finishing stage. Here, each batch is meticulously checked for color consistency and fiber integrity, then wound into small cones or bobbins, ready for weaving, sewing, or embroidery. Thanks to this delicate, environmentally conscious process, alpaca fiber not only retains its signature softness, but also comes alive in a spectrum of colors. Perfect for everything from culturally inspired handmade pieces to refined, modern fashion. After dyeing and drying are complete, the alpaca yarn, now soft, durable, and full of vibrant color, is ready to enter the weaving stage. In this phase, the dyed cones of yarn are fed into high-precision industrial looms where each thread is carefully interlaced to form wide, consistent, and beautifully textured fabrics. Thanks to advanced automation, these looms can produce meters of fabric at impressive speeds while still maintaining exceptional quality. The precise alignment of threads ensures a smooth surface, free from knots or imperfections, ideal for crafting high-end garments. The final texture of the fabric depends on the type of yarn used. Finer threads yield lightweight cloth, perfect for scarves or delicate tops, while thicker fibers create stronger weaves, ideal for coats, ponchos, or cozy blankets. This process not only preserves the natural softness of alpaca fiber, but also enhances its color, warmth, and elegance. As a result, every meter of woven fabric becomes the perfect canvas for garments that seamlessly blend Andean tradition with contemporary design.
Spring arrives on the endless grasslands, and after months of careful care, special diets, meticulous grooming, and plenty of attention, it's finally time for the sheep to shed their fluffy coats. Before shearing begins, the flock undergoes thorough health checks and sorting. This ensures that the sheep are strong enough for the process and allows farmers to separate the highest quality wool for premium production, maximizing the value of the harvest. Now comes the defining moment, the wool transformation, where skilled hands and modern technology work in perfect harmony. Sheep are sheared using specialized electric clippers with razor-sharp blades and high-powered motors, capable of handling around 25 sheep per hour. This process requires precision and expertise, as the shearer must stretch out the wool and move the clippers smoothly along the sheep's body and legs, ensuring clean cuts without harming the animal. Once the soft fleece is removed, it undergoes an initial sorting process. The finest wool is carefully packed into large bales, then securely sealed to protect it from dirt and moisture, preserving its quality. From here, these tightly bundled wool bales are loaded onto specialized transport trucks or shipping containers, beginning their journey to textile factories. There, they will be processed into high-quality wool fibers that fuel the global fashion industry. When wool bales arrive at the factory, they undergo a meticulous sorting process to ensure that each fiber is utilized appropriately. Skilled workers carefully evaluate the wool based on fineness, length, crimp, color, and cleanliness. The finest and softest wool, typically sourced from the back and sides of the sheep, holds the highest value, while wool from the legs and belly is of lower quality. After sorting, the wool is transferred to large washing and scouring tanks. High-capacity machines use hot water combined with special detergents to remove impurities such as grease, dirt, and dust. The wool is first soaked in a scouring solution and then thoroughly rinsed to eliminate any remaining residues. It is then passed through a centrifugal extractor to remove excess moisture. This step accelerates the drying process while preserving the natural structure of the fibers, preventing tangling or damage. Once cleaned, the wool is placed into specialized drying machines that maintain a controlled temperature between 50 and 70 degrees Celsius. This process effectively removes moisture without compromising fiber integrity. The drying phase typically lasts between 4 to 6 hours. After drying, the wool is processed through an opening machine, which fluffs and softens the fibers, preparing them for the next stage. The carding process is crucial for straightening and untangling the fibers. During the initial carding phase, the wool is spread out and passed through large rotating drums that separate individual fibers while removing any remaining impurities. This process forms a thin, continuous strand of wool known as sliver, which is prepared for the next stage. For high-quality wool, an additional combing process is performed to remove short fibers, producing a smoother, more uniform texture. The final product from this stage, known as top wool, consists of long, fine fibers that meet the highest standards for spinning. After carding, the wool is fed into spinning machines, where thousands of fibers are twisted together simultaneously to create yarn. These high-capacity machines can produce between 100 and 200 kilograms of yarn per day. During this process, the tension and thickness of the yarn are carefully adjusted to ensure uniform quality and consistency. Once spun into yarn, the wool can be processed into textiles through two primary methods: weaving or knitting. In weaving, the yarn is fed into modern weaving machines, where it is interlaced in an automated process to form soft yet durable fabric. These machines can produce several meters to dozens of meters of fabric per minute. Alternatively, knitting can be performed by machines or by hand to create products such as sweaters, hats, and socks. This method offers versatility in design and texture, producing high-quality woolen garments that are warm and comfortable. But the mission of these gentle creatures of the pasture does not end here. Inside modern lamb processing plants, advanced machinery works in perfect harmony with skilled workers to produce premium lamb cuts, delivering exquisite flavors to connoisseurs around the world. Skilled workers use sharp knives to carefully separate the hide in difficult areas such as the legs. Automated cutting systems ensure uniformity and maintain quality across all portions. Afterward, the lamb cuts move to the packaging section, where each piece is securely sealed in protective packaging to maintain optimal freshness. But did you know that before becoming high-quality wool and premium lamb cuts, these sheep embark on an incredible journey across the oceans to fulfill their new mission? At the farms, before embarking on their long voyage, the sheep undergo health monitoring, weight checks, and physical condition assessments. This ensures they are in peak condition, adapting well to new environments while maintaining the highest standards of wool and meat quality. On the day of departure, the sheep are guided through designated corridors onto specialized multi-tiered livestock transport trucks, an important innovation in modern livestock transportation. These trucks are designed to maximize space efficiency while ensuring the safety and well-being of the animals throughout the journey. Each truck consists of 2 to 4 tiers, with each tier capable of holding up to 150 sheep, bringing the total load to over 20 tons per trip. Metal mesh partitions separate compartments to minimize sudden movements and reduce stress among the sheep. The flooring is designed with an anti-slip surface, complete with ventilation systems, and some trucks even feature automatic water supply systems to ensure the sheep remain hydrated during transit. Before departure, absorbent bedding materials such as sawdust, dry straw, or sand are spread across the floors to absorb waste, maintaining cleanliness and reducing the risk of slipping. On long journeys, these bedding materials are periodically replaced to ensure hygiene, keeping the sheep in optimal health before they board the ship. Once all preparations are complete, these massive transport trucks set off toward the port, where the sheep's ocean voyage truly begins. At the port, the sheep are guided onto the ship via a specially designed ramp system that facilitates smooth and safe boarding. These enormous livestock transport vessels feature 5 to 7 decks with a total capacity of up to 70,000 sheep per voyage. Over the course of their journey, the ship consumes approximately 21,000 gallons of water daily, equivalent to the water usage of 120 American households. An automated misting system is activated to maintain an optimal temperature range of 68 degrees Celsius to 73 degrees Fahrenheit, preventing heat stress among the sheep. Additionally, a team of onboard veterinarians constantly monitors their health. If signs of stress, dehydration, or illness are detected, affected sheep are moved to designated care areas for recovery before continuing their journey. Every day, the flock consumes over 12 tons of feed, enough to fill a heavy-duty truck. The feed is formulated to strict standards, ensuring the sheep remain in peak condition upon arrival at their destination. When the ship docks at its final destination, the sheep are unloaded under strict supervision to ensure their safety and well-being. A specialized ramp system allows for smooth disembarkation, minimizing the risk of injury or stress after their long journey. From the vast pastures of Australia, these sheep travel across oceans to new lands, continuing their mission of providing high-quality wool and premium meat to meet the demands of global industries and consumers.
Across peaceful fields, goats do more than just contribute to the economy. They bring an unmatched vibrancy to every farm. With their curious and agile nature, they are never still, constantly exploring the world in their own unique way, filling their surroundings with energy and mischief. Despite their small size and playful demeanor, goats are a true treasure to humanity. Few realize that these remarkable creatures generate over $13 billion annually for the global economy, from nutrient-rich milk and flavorful meat to essential everyday products. A massive value hidden behind a humble appearance. On the farm, goats no longer have to compete for grass in the fields, but are provided with a premium, well-balanced diet under strict control. Modern machinery harvests fresh grass, then chops, cleans, and evenly distributes it through an automatic feeding system. Each goat receives an equal portion, along with protein-rich pellets and natural minerals, all adjusted to their age and condition. This ensures optimal nutrition, keeping them healthy and strong. When the goats show signs of readiness for milking, they are brought to the milking area, where the process is carefully carried out using modern machinery to ensure the collection of fresh, nutrient-rich milk. Goats are gently secured on a platform to prevent movement and reduce stress. Before milking starts, an automatic feeding system provides snacks to keep the goats happy throughout the process. The goat's udders are then carefully cleaned and gently massaged to stimulate milk flow. The milking machines, equipped with soft silicone cups that mimic natural suckling, gently attach to the udders and begin extracting the milk. These high-tech milking machines operate quickly and efficiently, usually taking 5 to 10 minutes to milk each goat. In addition to traditional milking stalls, modern farms now use carousel-style milking systems, which allow multiple goats to be milked simultaneously with high precision and efficiency. The continuous rotation of the carousel ensures a fast, clean, and stress-free milking process. Once the milking is complete, the milk is transferred through stainless steel pipes into specialized storage tanks for processing. The first step is filtration, which removes impurities such as hair, dirt, or small particles. After filtration, the milk is rapidly chilled to around 4 degrees Celsius to prevent bacterial growth and maintain its fresh taste. After rigorous quality checks, the milk is transferred to large tanks, ready for the next stages of processing. One of the most popular goat milk products is cheese. The cheese-making process begins with pasteurizing the milk. There are 2 common pasteurization methods: quick pasteurization and slow pasteurization. Among them, slow pasteurization is preferred for its ability to retain the milk's natural flavor. This method involves heating the milk to 63 to 65 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes to kill bacteria without destroying essential nutrients. After pasteurization, the milk can be rapidly cooled to maintain its freshness, natural flavor, and nutritional value. It is then transferred to a sterile packaging line, where it is poured into plastic bottles or cartons to ensure food safety. Throughout this process, every step takes place in a strictly controlled environment to prevent bacterial contamination. Once packaged, the milk is labeled with complete information about its origin, expiration date, and nutritional content before being stored in refrigerated warehouses. From there, it is transported under stable temperature conditions to stores, supermarkets, and distributors, ensuring the highest quality when it reaches consumers. If cheese is to be made, the milk undergoes further processing after pasteurization. Next, bacterial cultures, usually lactobacillus, are added to the milk. These bacteria convert lactose into lactic acid, causing the milk to curdle and develop its characteristic tangy flavor. Rennet, an enzyme from animal or plant sources, is then added to help the milk solidify into curds. This process typically takes 30 minutes to a few hours, depending on the type of cheese being produced. For certain types of blue-veined goat cheese, such as Blo de Chèvre or Monte Enambro, cheesemakers add a specific mold called Penicillium roqueforti at this stage. This mold grows throughout the aging process, creating the signature blue veins inside the cheese and developing a rich, slightly spicy flavor. Once the milk curdles, the curd is cut into smaller pieces using specialized tools. The size of the curds determines the final texture of the cheese. Smaller curds create firmer cheese, while larger curds result in softer cheese. The curds are then gently stirred to help separate the whey from the curds. This process usually takes 15 to 30 minutes. The whey is then drained and can be used for making other products like yogurt or butter. Once the curds reach the desired consistency, they are pressed into molds to create the final shape. For blue cheeses, the cheese is pierced with fine needles to allow air inside. encouraging the growth of penicillium mold, which creates the distinctive blue veins and tangy flavor. The cheese is then soaked in a salt brine to enhance flavor and improve shelf life. After salting, the cheese is moved to an aging room with controlled temperature and humidity. Depending on the type of cheese, the aging process can last from a few days to several months or even years. In modern factories, goat cheese is packaged using advanced automated systems for efficiency and hygiene. After aging, it is cut to size, vacuum sealed or wrapped in wax paper, and labeled with product details. Finally, workers pack the cheese into cartons for storage and distribution, ensuring freshness and quality. Besides milk, goat meat is one of the most important red meats in the world. It has a lower fat content than beef and pork, but is rich in protein and essential minerals. In modern processing facilities, goat meat is processed through a professional and strictly controlled system to ensure the highest product quality and freshness. After entering the factory, goats undergo a professional processing procedure that combines modern technology with skilled craftsmanship. They are cleaned, then sequentially go through leg removal, skinning, and evisceration with the support of specialized tools. The process is fast, precise, and hygienic, ensuring fresh, high-quality meat for the next processing stages. After the organs have been removed, the carcass is moved to the washing station. A high-pressure water spraying system thoroughly cleans the surface of the goat, removing any remaining dirt, hair, or impurities. Once the goat carcass is fully cleaned, it is hung on racks to drain any excess water before being packaged. Depending on customer requirements, the goat can be packaged whole or cut into smaller portions, such as ribs, leg cuts, or loin. The meat is then vacuum sealed or placed in plastic packaging to maintain freshness and prevent contamination. The packaged goat meat is stored in cold storage at a controlled temperature of -18 degrees Celsius to -20 degrees Celsius. This freezing process helps preserve the color, flavor, and texture of the meat, ensuring it stays fresh for longer periods. After packaging, goat meat is transported by refrigerated trucks or airplanes to maintain the proper temperature. It is distributed to supermarkets, restaurants, and international markets, ensuring freshness and high quality. Thanks to a modern system, the meat reaches the market quickly while maintaining top standards. Behind every delicious sausage is a journey that begins with little pink piglets growing up on happy farms. But why is that? Here's an interesting fact. Happy pigs produce better quality meat, leading to the finest sausages. That's why many farms go the extra mile to ensure their four-legged VIPs live a luxurious life. Think of it as a five-star hotel for pigs. They enjoy clean, spacious barns, refreshing baths every day, well-balanced meals, and even get to relax while listening to Mozart. And believe it or not, after about 180 spa sessions, these once tiny piglets, weighing just over 1 kilogram, grow into massive giants, tipping the scales at 110 to 130 kilograms. To sustain the breed, Only the most elite pigs are carefully selected to participate in the modern breeding process. With the help of technology, from selective breeding to artificial insemination, a new generation of strong, healthy piglets is born. When the golden moment arrives, the pigs are ready to leave the farm and move on to their next destination, the processing plant, where their journey takes a new turn. Before hitting the road, pigs are given a light fasting period of about 12 to 24 hours. Not to lose weight, but to ensure a smoother journey. Modern livestock trucks are also well designed, featuring multiple levels and partitioned sections to prevent overcrowding and jostling. Plus, they come equipped with ventilation and automatic temperature control systems, ensuring a cool, stress-free ride for their four-legged passengers. Everything is carefully arranged to transport happy pigs to the processing plant, where they'll soon take part in a little culinary magic, transforming into delicious sausages. After a long journey, the pigs finally arrive at the processing plant. The first and most crucial step is to let them rest in a clean, well-ventilated area equipped with mist sprayers and air circulation systems. This helps reduce stress, stabilize their heart rate, and minimize the release of stress hormones, ultimately improving meat quality. Before slaughter, pigs must be stunned to ensure a humane and painless process. Two common methods are used: CO2 gas stunning and electrical stunning. Among these, CO2 stunning is more widely adopted in modern plants. For CO2 stunning, pigs are placed inside a sealed chamber where carbon dioxide is pumped in at a concentration of 80 to 90%. Within 10 to 30 seconds, they lose consciousness. In smaller processing facilities, especially in China, the process may differ slightly. The pigs are taken directly into the bleeding machine. Then the process will look like this. Have you ever been to a slaughterhouse? Share your experience in the comments below. Once fully unconscious, the pigs are transferred via conveyor belts to the bleeding area. After the cut is made, pigs are hung upside down for 3 to 5 minutes, ensuring that most of the blood is removed efficiently. Once bleeding is complete, the pigs move to the deherring stage. First, they are dipped in hot water 136 to 144 degrees for 4 to 6 minutes. This opens up hair follicles, making the hair easier to remove. Next, the pigs enter an automatic deherring machine, where rotating rollers with soft rubber blades rub against the body, stripping away hair as the pigs tumble through the system. To remove any remaining fine hairs, the carcasses pass through a scalding flame, which also sterilizes the skin, ensuring cleanliness before the next stage. Next, the pigs go through the evisceration process, where internal organs are removed. In automated facilities, robotic arms equipped with razor-sharp circular blades make a precise incision along the pig's abdomen. A mechanical clamp system then gently extracts the entire set of internal organs without rupturing the intestines, ensuring the highest hygiene standards. At this stage, only the meat remains, and the pigs are split in half using high-powered cutting machines before moving along the conveyor belt. Automated saws equipped with laser-guided blades make ultra-precise cuts, separating lean meat, fat, and bones with remarkable accuracy. These high-speed machines can process hundreds of pigs per hour, delivering uniform cuts while minimizing waste. After a thorough quality inspection, the finest meat cuts are transferred to cold storage at temperatures between 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit to -7.6 degrees to preserve freshness until further processing. And now the real culinary magic begins. Watch as fresh, premium cuts of meat transform into irresistibly juicy, mouth-watering sausages. The leanest and most cohesive cuts of pork are carefully selected, along with hand-trimmed pork fat, to prepare for the sausage-making process. The pork fat is also manually filtered and added to the mixture to balance the fat ratio, ensuring the sausages remain tender, juicy, and packed with flavor when cooked. After trimming, the meat is fed into a high-capacity industrial grinder that can process up to 2 tons of pork per hour. This machine rapidly grinds the meat while maintaining its texture and freshness. First, the meat goes through a coarse grinding stage, where razor-sharp stainless steel blades chop it into evenly sized pieces before moving to the next step. Then, the meat is further refined in a high-speed grinder, spinning at 3,000 to 5,000 RPM, creating a smoother and more elastic consistency. At this stage, the hand-trimmed pork fat is added, enhancing the sausage's rich, juicy texture. The finely ground meat mixture is lightly chilled to maintain freshness, before being transferred into a vacuum mixer, a crucial piece of equipment that evenly blends ingredients while preserving texture and quality. Inside the machine, high-speed paddles knead and press the mixture, ensuring the seasoning deeply infuses every fiber of the meat. Spices such as salt, pepper, sugar, emulsifiers to enhance binding, preservatives to extend shelf life, and natural flavor enhancers, including the hand-selected pork fat, are added, creating the distinctive taste of each sausage. Egg yolks play a crucial role in increasing the richness and binding capacity of the mixture. The eggs are processed through an automatic egg-breaking machine, where the shells are cracked and the yolks are separated from the whites using a centrifugal system. Only yolks that meet strict standards for consistency, color, and freshness are selected and automatically injected into the meat mixture. The vacuum mixer can process anywhere from hundreds of kilograms to several tons of mixture per hour, depending on production scale. Thanks to this technology, the meat mixture achieves an ultra-smooth texture and perfect binding, ensuring that the sausages maintain their uniform consistency after processing. Once all ingredients are thoroughly blended, the mixture is ready for casing. Sausage casings come in 2 main types: natural casings made from animal intestines, and artificial casings made from collagen or cellulose. Once prepared, the casings are fed into a sausage stuffing machine, where the meat mixture is pumped in under stable pressure to prevent air pockets and ensure the sausages have an even, firm texture. Next, an automated twisting machine precisely divides the sausages into equal portions by twisting the casings at fixed intervals, creating uniform and compact sausages. For some handcrafted or premium sausage lines, the process relies on the expertise and skilled hands of experienced butchers, turning each batch of sausages into a true culinary masterpiece. They use traditional hand-twisting techniques, precisely measuring each section to ensure the perfect firmness without tearing the casing. This method allows for greater flexibility in size, which is especially important for fresh or traditionally made sausages. Sausages can be cooked using either steaming or smoking, depending on the product type. For smoked sausages, they are hung on stainless steel or wooden racks and placed inside a smoking chamber, where natural wood smoke, often from oak or hardwood sawdust, is generated at 122 to 167 degrees. This process enhances their deep color and imparts a signature smoky aroma. Can you already smell the rich, savory aroma of freshly made sausages filling the air? After cooking, the sausages must be quickly cooled to stabilize their structure. This is typically done using cold water baths or mist cooling systems to rapidly lower their temperature. Next, they are transferred to an air-drying chamber, where cool air removes excess moisture, improving texture and extending shelf life. After inspection, the sausages move along a modern production line to the packaging area. Here, robots efficiently arrange the sausages into boxes at a speed of 120 packs per minute, ensuring precision and consistency. Finally, the packaged products are stored in cold storage at 19 degrees Celsius and transported using a specialized cold chain distribution system at 2 to 4 degrees Celsius to supermarkets, grocery stores, or exported to over 50 international markets. In autumn, as gentle breezes sweep through endless vineyards, revealing clusters of plump grapes glistening under the golden sunlight, the harvest season officially begins. For grape varieties used in mass-market wine production or large-scale raising processing, mechanical harvesting is the optimal choice, boosting productivity while significantly reducing labor costs. In countries with highly mechanized agriculture, such as the United States, especially in California, which accounts for over 90% of the nation's grape output, vast vineyards are predominantly harvested by machines. These modern machines glide slowly through neatly planted rows of vines, like meticulous artisans adding the final strokes to a masterpiece of the harvest season. Equipped with soft vibration systems and precision-controlled sensors, the machines gently shake the vines, just enough to detach ripe grape clusters without damaging the fruit or the plant. As the grapes fall, they aren't left to drop freely. Instead, soft catch trays beneath them cushion the fall and guide the fruit onto conveyor belts. From there, the clusters are smoothly transferred into large collection bins, cleanly and carefully. Most impressive of all, each machine can harvest up to 9 tons of grapes per hour, a rate 5 to 10 times higher than manual harvesting within the same time frame. Once the bins are full, the machine slowly moves to the edge of the vineyard, where large trucks are ready to receive this precious treasure. Meanwhile, in many traditional grape-growing regions such as France, Italy, and Spain, where premium wine grapes or fresh table grapes are cultivated, the skilled hands of human harvesters are still essential. This ensures that each cluster is picked at perfect ripeness, without scratches or bruises. Hand harvesting grapes is a meticulous task that demands patience and finesse. Workers move carefully along the vineyard rows, using specialized shears to snip ripe grape clusters, then gently place them into soft baskets or padded bins. Though this manual method is time-consuming and labor-intensive, it delivers unmatched quality. Each grape retains its full shape, vibrant color, and delicate flavor, ready for the finest wines or the most discerning fresh fruit markets. And as the harvest season comes to a close, a new journey for these grapes is just beginning. Before the grape clusters make their way into fine bottles of wine, another part of the harvest takes a very different path, transforming into sweet little gifts from the sun, known as raisins, where the sweetness of sunlight and time is concentrated in each tiny fruit. Raisins are often made using natural sun-drying, a process that may seem simple but plays a crucial role in preserving their distinctive flavor. In major production centers like California, Turkey, and Iran, where the climate is hot, dry, and sunny, grapes are spread out evenly on concrete surfaces, tarps, or drying racks for 2 to 3 weeks. During this period, the moisture in the grapes gradually evaporates, leaving behind a natural sweetness that becomes increasingly concentrated. In some regions, a special method is used, allowing the grapes to dry directly on the vine before harvesting. This technique produces raisins with a darker color and a much richer flavor. Once the moisture content drops to about 15 to 18%, the standard for commercial-grade raisins, farmers collect the grapes and transport them to processing facilities for post-harvest handling. Don't underestimate a raisin. It's like an elephant sun-dried down into a gorilla, and instead of roaring loud, it explodes with sweetness in your mouth. When raisins arrive at the processing facility, the first step is preliminary sorting. A combination of vibrating screens and suction fans removes dry leaves, stems, dirt, and other large debris. This is a crucial preparation stage before the raisins move on to a more thorough washing process. After sorting, the raisins are further cleaned using a high-pressure water spray system. Powerful jets of water wash away any remaining dirt and bacteria on the surface of the raisins. With a processing capacity of up to 10 tons per hour, this system ensures a fast and efficient cleaning process without compromising the texture or natural flavor of the raisins. After the cleaning process, the raisins are transferred to a modern sorting system that uses optical technology. The machine scans each raisin with infrared light to detect and remove any that are damaged, misshapen, or do not meet standards for size and color. Although the technology is highly accurate, to ensure the highest quality, the factory still maintains a team of skilled workers for a final manual inspection. Using their trained eyes and experienced hands, they carefully check to make sure only the best raisins proceed to the next stage. With the sorting process complete, the raisins are transferred to the packaging line, where they are sealed in high-quality packaging. Each pack contains about 250 grams of raisins, just the right amount to satisfy consumers with this naturally sweet snack. Thanks to an automated packing system, the facility can package up to 3,000 packs per hour, ensuring the product reaches global markets quickly and efficiently. From the concentrated sweetness of raisins, we return to their original form, plump, juicy grapes, ready for another equally captivating journey. After being carefully harvested and inspected, the fresh grape bunches are transferred to the packing area of the facility. Here, the entire packaging process is done by hand, carried out by skilled and experienced workers. Each bunch is meticulously selected to ensure that only the freshest, juiciest, and unblemished grapes are packed. These grapes are then placed into boxes or bags, each weighing approximately 500 grams, helping to preserve their natural freshness and vibrant color. This process ensures that every grape maintains the highest quality, avoiding bruising or spoilage during transportation. Although it requires more time and effort, the attention to detail at every stage helps preserve the full flavor and nutritional value of the grapes, delivering perfectly packed products crafted with care to consumers. And now comes the most anticipated part, when fresh, juicy grapes move beyond their natural charm and begin an entirely different journey, becoming seductive, full-bodied wine. From timeless, memory-laden classics to refined modern flavors, the secrets behind the winemaking process are about to be revealed. The story begins as massive trucks filled with freshly harvested ripe grapes roll into the winery's receiving area. Here, the grapes are unloaded into enormous stainless steel containers and swiftly transferred onto a modern conveyor system where speed meets delicacy to preserve the quality of every single grape. One of the most remarkable aspects of this process is that the grapes are not washed with water. This is because their skins carry a natural layer of wild yeast, an essential component for fermentation. Washing the grapes would strip away this precious layer, diminishing the wine's distinct flavor and hindering the fermentation process. Instead of washing, the grapes are cleaned manually. Skilled workers carefully remove leaves, stems, damaged berries, and other impurities, ensuring cleanliness while preserving the grape's natural, living essence. After being carefully selected, the grapes are passed through a specialized machine to undergo the destemming process. This step utilizes advanced technology with state-of-the-art equipment designed to remove the stems from each cluster without damaging the grapes themselves. Once separated from their stems, the grapes continue gently to the next stage. Following destemming, the grapes are sorted using an optical system supported by cameras and special lighting. These machines use image scanning and infrared technology to precisely analyze each individual grape, removing those that do not meet quality standards. Capable of processing up to 20 tons of grapes per hour, this system optimizes the workflow and significantly enhances production efficiency. Next, the grapes are fed into massive crushing machines capable of processing up to 10,000 pounds of grapes per hour. These machines are meticulously designed with gentle crushing rollers and rotating paddles that press the grapes softly and carefully without breaking the seeds. A crucial detail in winemaking. If the seeds are crushed, they release tannins that can cause the wine to develop an undesirable bitter taste, compromising the delicate flavor profile that winemakers strive to achieve. Did you know that before machines, grapes were once pressed by bare feet? In many long-standing winemaking regions, stomping grapes wasn't just for extracting juice. It was also a way to connect with the land and the harvest. The feet acted as natural sensors, pressing gently to preserve the wine's delicate flavor. Though this practice is now rare due to hygiene standards, millions of glasses of wine are still raised, with few remembering that the journey once began with a pair of feet and ended in a flavor full of emotion. The grape juice, after being pressed, is transferred to large fermentation tanks to begin the process of developing the wine's distinctive flavor. This process typically lasts from 10 to 30 days, depending on the grape variety, sugar content, and environmental conditions. Throughout this process, natural yeast triggers a chemical reaction, converting the sugar in the grape juice into alcohol and carbon dioxide. As CO2 is produced during fermentation, it pushes the grape skins to the surface, forming a layer known as the fermentation cap. This cap needs to be regularly pushed down to allow the wine to continue absorbing color, aroma, and tannins from the skins, while also preventing the growth of bacteria and mold. After the fermentation process is complete, the wine needs to be clarified and separated from the solids to remove grape skins, seeds, and other remaining impurities. This step is typically carried out using filters or specialized equipment that efficiently separates the wine from the grape pomace. Filtration not only makes the wine clear and visually appealing, but also reduces the presence of compounds that could cause bitterness or off flavors. Once filtered, the wine is transferred to aging barrels or proceeds to the next stages of production, ready to develop its perfect flavor profile. For premium red wines, after filtration, the wine is transferred into oak barrels for aging, where the true magic happens. The wine is carefully pumped into the barrels, where it rests for 12 months to over 2 years. Aging in oak not only allows the wine to absorb the distinctive aromas of the wood, but also helps soften the natural astringency of the grape tannins, creating a smooth, layered texture in every sip. Finally, when the wine has reached its peak maturity and perfection, it is pumped into automated bottling machines, where the bottling magic begins. These machines, equipped with advanced sensors, ensure that each bottle is filled with milliliter-level precision, guaranteeing perfect balance in every sip. The bottling process is fast and efficient, with the capacity to fill up to 3,000 bottles per hour, highlighting an impressive level of automation and quality control. After bottling, the wine is labeled, sealed, and carefully packaged, ready to be distributed to markets around the world. From sun-drenched vineyards to the shimmering glass on the table, the story of each drop of wine is a legacy of land, time, and dedicated hands. Over thousands of years, that sweet juice has transformed from ancient ritual to a symbol of modern sophistication. And today, in just one sip, we can taste both tradition and innovation, blended together in the most captivating way. If there were a global strawberry showdown, China would be crushing it in volume, but the United States, it's leading in prestige. In China, over 3 million tons of strawberries are harvested every year, nearly 3 times more than the US. An impressive number, no doubt. But if you ask the world which strawberry jam brands they actually remember, the answer lies across the Pacific. Smucker's, Bon Maman, Welch's, and a lineup of legendary names all hail from America. Because in the US, strawberry jam isn't just a breakfast spread. It's a culture, an industry, and the global gold standard of sweet perfection. The US may not grow the most, but it knows how to turn a humble berry into something the world loves to spread on toast every morning. The reality is, not every strawberry makes it to consumers while still fresh. Left too long, it spoils quickly, and that's exactly why the processing industry exists. Turning strawberries into jam isn't just about preservation, it's a way to extend the life of a delicate fruit, reduce waste, optimize the supply chain, and transform something fragile into lasting value. At high-end strawberry farms, where every berry is selected for export or premium jam production, automated harvesting machines are becoming the go-to solution. Equipped with AI-powered cameras and soft robotic arms, these machines can accurately identify ripe strawberries and gently pluck them using silicone grippers or vacuum suction without damaging the fruit or tearing the stem. The entire process is smooth and precise. Each berry is placed into soft, cushioned trays immediately after picking to preserve its shape and freshness. A single machine can harvest up to 10,000 pounds of strawberries per day, operating mainly in the early morning hours, the golden window to lock in flavor and quality. Even as technology reaches into every furrow of the field, in the United States, strawberry harvesting, especially on organic farms, hilly terrain, or hard-to-reach areas, still belongs to the hands of human workers. Strawberry pickers move like silent artisans, carefully weaving through the rows, selecting the perfect berries at just the right moment. Each fruit is gently placed into ventilated plastic trays, lying in a single layer like eggs in a nest. No stacking, no crushing, no bruising. Once a tray is full, they make their way quickly back to the collection point to transfer the berries into cold storage. This must happen within 1 to 2 hours of picking. Any delay and the quality starts to slip away. On average, each picker harvests between 9 to 13 kilograms of strawberries per hour. It may not sound like much, but this work supports over 55,000 seasonal jobs across the U.S. each year, most of them held by immigrant agricultural workers. Hand-picking doesn't just preserve the quality of each berry, it sustains the livelihoods of tens of thousands of families. That's why the American strawberry industry is not only efficient, but deeply human at its core. After harvesting, strawberries are quickly transported to nearby pre-processing facilities, usually located close to the farms, where sorting begins while the fruit is still at peak freshness. This step plays a critical role in determining the destiny of each berry. Some will be selected for fresh sale at supermarkets or local markets, while the rest will enter processing lines to become jam, frozen fruit, or dried products. Only the highest quality berries, bright red, plump, unbruised, and free of pest damage, are kept, while those that are soft, scratched, or uneven in color are removed immediately. Sorting requires not only a keen eye, but also speed and experience, as strawberries begin to lose freshness rapidly, just a few hours after being picked. On large farms, harvesting may take several days, and sorting can continue non-stop from morning until night. Careful sorting ensures not only product quality but also efficiency in the next stages of production. Each selected strawberry must be evenly ripe to guarantee consistent color, texture, and overall product quality. After careful sorting, the selected strawberries are gently packed into specialized boxes or cartons with soft padding and ventilation holes to protect the fruit throughout transport. These boxes are then sent directly to cold storage facilities, where stable, low temperatures help preserve their freshness and quality. From there, part of the strawberries is distributed to local supermarkets to meet domestic demand, while higher-grade batches continue their journey toward export markets, appearing on breakfast tables across the United States, Europe, and Asia. But what about the strawberries that don't make it to the fresh market? They're given a second, sweeter destiny, heading straight to jam factories. As soon as they enter the line, strawberries are preliminarily sorted and neatly placed into individual molds, ready for stem removal. More than 2,000 berries per minute glide through an automated blade system, where each stem is sliced cleanly with near-perfect precision. A deviation of just a few millimeters can cause the blade to cut into the soft flesh, distorting the berry's shape, and in this industry, even the slightest imperfection can instantly cut its commercial value in half. Strawberries are then placed on rotating rollers and pass beneath a series of high-pressure water jets. These jets are carefully calibrated to remove dust and surface residue without bruising the delicate fruit. Immediately afterward, the berries slide into a high-capacity washing tank, where powerful water agitation dislodges any remaining sand, stems, or leaf fragments. Throughout this process, a network of guide rails ensures the berries remain evenly spaced and cushioned, reducing physical impact and preserving the fruit's integrity during continuous cleaning. This multi-stage wash is critical for meeting food safety standards while maintaining the berry's appearance and texture. After cleaning, the strawberries move onto an inspection belt, where trained workers manually sort through each batch. Damaged, overripe, or discolored berries are quickly removed to ensure only high-quality fruit continues down the line. This hands-on step adds an extra layer of quality control that machines alone can't guarantee. Now, let's take a closer look at a process we rarely get to see, but one that plays a crucial role in preserving the full flavor and value of every single strawberry: freeze drying. The process begins with an ultra-fast deep freeze, plunging the strawberries to around -40 degrees Celsius. The frozen strawberries enter a vacuum drying chamber. Through a process called sublimation, the ice within the fruit evaporates directly into vapor. A powerful upward airflow lifts the berry pieces slightly, causing them to bounce and hover just enough to stay separated. What makes freeze-drying stand out isn't just the technology, but the results. Unlike conventional drying methods, which can strip away up to 40 to 50% of the fruit's vitamin C, freeze-drying retains more than 95%. The strawberries emerge light, crisp, and intensely flavorful, packed with their original sweetness, natural aroma, and essential nutrients almost completely intact. After passing through the freezing tunnel, the strawberries move on to manual inspection, where workers carefully sort through each frozen piece, removing any that are bruised, freezer-burned, or don't meet quality standards. Once the freezing process is complete, the strawberries are transferred to the packing area. Each batch is carefully weighed and poured into food-grade bulk bags. Workers quickly fold and seal the tops using a heat-sealing machine, ensuring an airtight closure to prevent moisture buildup. These frozen strawberry bags are then transferred directly to deep freeze storage, where they are kept at ultra-low temperatures to maintain peak quality, patiently awaiting shipment to jam factories for the next stage of production. At last, we've arrived at the most anticipated stage inside the jam factory, where frozen strawberries begin their transformation into irresistible jars of sweet, velvety jam. The frozen strawberries are carefully thawed under strictly controlled conditions. This process typically takes 4 to 6 hours at a chilled temperature of around 0 to 4 degrees Celsius to prevent thermal shock, which can cause excess moisture release, softening, or discoloration. The strawberries are then transferred into large-capacity industrial cooking kettles, specially designed to distribute heat evenly and maintain stable temperatures throughout the cooking process. Here, the strawberries are combined with sugar, pectin, a natural gelling agent derived from plants, and sometimes lemon juice or citric acid to balance the sweet tart flavor and achieve the ideal thick, jam-like consistency. Throughout the cooking process, the mixture is continuously stirred by automatic paddles to prevent scorching at the bottom and to help maintain the strawberries' vibrant red color. Cooking typically lasts between 30 and 45 minutes, with constant checks on viscosity, aroma, and brix levels to ensure consistent quality in every batch. If you look closely during the cooking process, you might notice a small amount of white powder being added to the mixture. This is usually pectin or citric acid in crystalline form, added at different stages to adjust the jam's gelling properties. And here's where the biggest secret in the strawberry's sweet journey is revealed. Under the intense heat of cooking, the berry's vibrant red color begins to fade, replaced by a deeper brown hue, a result of a chemical reaction between sugar and anthocyanin, the fruit's natural pigment. This leads to a surprising truth. The bright red color you see on your favorite jar of strawberry jam isn't actually the berry's real color after cooking. To preserve the iconic look of this beloved treat, many manufacturers quietly add natural coloring derived from red beet or blackcurrant. A sweet little twist in the world of food, where eye-catching appearances sometimes come from something entirely unrelated to strawberries. Once the jam reaches the perfect consistency and flavor, it is still piping hot when poured directly into sterilized glass jars or specialized plastic containers. The filling process is fast but precise, ensuring the jam maintains a high enough temperature to naturally sterilize each jar. Each stream of jam flows like a ribbon of golden sweetness, but behind that smooth texture lies a highly precise technical requirement. The filling process is extremely fast, yet must be carried out with absolute accuracy, because the jam must be poured while still hot, typically at 85 to 90 degrees Celsius, to achieve natural sterilization inside the jar. This temperature not only eliminates potential bacteria, but also creates a mild vacuum as it cools, keeping the jam safe without the need for added preservatives. Right after being sealed, the jam jars pass through a cold water spray system. This cooling step quickly brings down the internal temperature, preventing the jam from continuing to simmer inside the jar and helping to preserve its ideal texture, color, and flavor. Next comes the final finishing stage. Each jar of jam, after a final quality check, is labeled clearly and printed with complete information about ingredients and expiration date, ensuring transparency and convenience for consumers. The jars are then neatly packed into sturdy, well-lined cartons to prevent damage during transport. These finished cartons are transferred to deep cold storage, where stable, year-round temperatures provide ideal conditions for preservation. Here, the jam jars go into a brief hibernation period, allowing shelf life to extend while maintaining their texture, consistency, and flavor, until they're ready to head out to supermarkets or find a place in your kitchen. And that's the meticulous journey behind every jar of vibrant strawberry jam, sweet from the fields to every spoonful you enjoy. Each jar is the result of a careful process of selection, processing, and dedication. Don't forget, there are still many exciting journeys ahead, uncovering the fascinating stories behind everyday foods. If you found this video enjoyable and informative, please like, share, and leave a comment to support us. Speaking of asparagus, did you know there are two common types of this vegetable? Green asparagus and white asparagus. Each has its own unique and distinct flavor. In the US, asparagus is mainly grown in California, Washington, and Michigan, 3 states with the perfect climate and nutrient-rich soil for this vegetable to thrive. Typically, it takes about 2 to 3 months for asparagus to grow before it's ready for harvest. And when spring arrives, that's when you'll get to witness the precise and skilled process of harvesting asparagus, from traditional methods to the use of modern technology. In the early mornings on the asparagus fields in California, when the dew is still resting on the stalks, farmers begin their work. They bend down, carefully examining each asparagus spear to select the ones that have reached the ideal length, usually about 8 to 10 inches. With a sharp knife or specialized cutting tool, they gently cut the spears at the base, being careful not to damage the root system so the plant can continue to grow. Each spear is then placed neatly in a basket, making sure it doesn't bend or break. This is a task that requires not only strength, but also patience and precision, as each spear must be handled carefully to maintain its freshness. When it comes to white asparagus, the process is much more intricate. Since it's grown under layers of soil or fabric to block sunlight, farmers must first lift each sheet of fabric before harvesting. In some larger farms, modern technology has started to assist farmers, helping reduce the need for manual labor. These advanced harvesting machines, designed to carry workers as they sit on them, gently glide over the rows of crops. The workers sitting on these machines can easily cut the asparagus as the machine moves slowly, saving time and protecting the plants from damage. What's even more special is when harvesting white asparagus. There are machines equipped with lifting arms on both sides that can simultaneously raise dozens of fabric sheets. This not only helps farmers save time, but also optimizes labor, allowing them to focus on harvesting more efficiently. Once the fabric sheets are lifted, the farmers carefully use knives to cut each white asparagus spear and gently place them onto the harvesting machine's conveyor belt. The conveyor then moves the asparagus upwards, where workers are waiting to collect and carefully pack them into containers. Not just stopping at manual methods, American farmers have taken asparagus harvesting to a whole new level with the introduction of advanced, fully automated equipment. For white asparagus, modern harvesting machines move along the rows of crops, with their mechanical arms gently lifting the fabric sheets, creating space for the next step. The sensor system not only detects the location of the asparagus, but also adjusts the pulling force to ensure it's just right, preventing any damage to the plants or the roots, which need to be preserved for the plants to continue growing. Once the spears are pulled up, They are neatly placed on an integrated conveyor belt that moves them up to the machine. Here, workers are waiting to collect, inspect each spear, and then carefully place them into containers, ready for the next processing step. For green asparagus, the harvesting machines are designed similarly, but there's no need for a fabric lifting system, since the spears grow directly on the ground. The machines still use smart sensors to detect the height and position of each spear, ensuring that only the spears that meet the standards are harvested. The automatic cutting blades gently trim each spear at the base and smoothly move them onto the conveyor belt. This process helps save a significant amount of time and labor while ensuring that the quality of the green asparagus is not compromised. The use of machinery in asparagus harvesting marks a significant advancement in agriculture, bringing many outstanding benefits. Machines help reduce manual labor, increase productivity, and save a considerable amount of time. At the same time, they ensure consistency and quality of the product, meeting the growing demands of the market. This automation not only enhances production efficiency, but also reduces long-term costs, allowing farmers to focus on other aspects of farming and management. The integration of technology into asparagus harvesting not only improves efficiency, but also opens up opportunities for sustainable development in modern agriculture. After the asparagus is harvested, its journey doesn't stop at the field. To reach consumers as a high-quality product, the asparagus goes through a careful processing process in modern factories. When the asparagus arrives at the factory, it goes through an automatic washing system with clean water to remove all dirt, sand, and impurities from the field. After that, the asparagus is sorted based on its length, thickness, and shape to ensure uniformity in each batch. Next, any spears that don't meet the standards are discarded, while those that pass the quality check are quickly cooled using misting or ice water to maintain freshness. After cooling, the asparagus is packed into specialized trays or plastic bags. The packaging is usually designed with ventilation holes to maintain moisture and prevent the buildup of ethylene gas, which causes the asparagus to ripen too quickly. Finally, the trays of asparagus are labeled with product information and moved to a cold storage facility to be kept fresh before being distributed to stores and supermarkets. In addition, asparagus can also be canned, and the processing is more complex to ensure the product can be stored for a long time while retaining its natural flavor. After cleaning and sorting, the asparagus is trimmed to fit the size of the cans or jars. Next, it's blanched in hot water for a few minutes to soften the spears, kill bacteria, and preserve its natural color. After blanching, the asparagus is carefully packed into cans, making sure it looks good and optimizes space. A preservative made of diluted salt water or a mixture with citric acid is poured into the cans to enhance the product's shelf life. The cans are then sealed and undergo a high-pressure sterilization process to ensure food safety and extend the shelf life for up to 1 or 2 years. So asparagus is now a common sight on dining tables everywhere. And a question often comes up: what's the difference between green asparagus and white asparagus? Well, let's break it down for you. In terms of nutritional value, both types are rich in vitamins A, C, E, and K, as well as important minerals like potassium, phosphorus, and folate. However, green asparagus stands out due to its higher antioxidant content. Thanks to its higher chlorophyll levels, this gives it its characteristic green color and helps support heart health. It has a bold, slightly bitter and fresh flavor, making it perfect for stir-fries, grilling, or even eaten raw. On the other hand, white asparagus is easier to digest because it contains less fiber, which makes it more suitable for people with sensitive digestive systems. It has a milder, sweeter taste with less bitterness and is often used in high-end dishes with hollandaise sauce or butter. Additionally, white asparagus tends to be more expensive than green asparagus due to its more complex growing process. The differences in nutritional value and flavor between green and white asparagus likely come from the way they are grown. For green asparagus, the plants grow under natural sunlight, which allows them to produce chlorophyll and develop their characteristic green color. For white asparagus, the process is similar to green asparagus, but it requires additional steps to cover the plants during the growing process. This prevents the plants from producing chlorophyll, which helps the asparagus stay white and develop its mild, delicate flavor. So, now you have a complete overview of how American farmers grow, harvest, and process millions of pounds of asparagus every year. This is a clear example of the perfect blend of advanced technology and the dedication and skill of hardworking people. Hops are the silent magicians behind every glass of beer, small yet capable of making a massive difference. These climbing plants can grow over 20 feet, 6 meters, tall, wrapping tightly around trellises as they soak up the sunshine across the vast hop fields of Washington, the largest hop-growing region in the United States. Each year, hops contribute $562 million to the U.S. economy. Their value goes beyond their distinct aroma and perfectly balanced bitterness. It also comes from an advanced harvesting process that requires precision to preserve their delicate essential oils. Beyond brewing, hops play a role in sustainable agriculture, improving soil health and supporting natural ecosystems. As the crisp autumn breeze sweeps through, hop farms across the U.S. enter their most crucial time of the year, harvest season. This is when lush green hop cones, bursting with aromatic oils, are carefully gathered, ready to become the key ingredient in crafting flavorful, refreshing beers. In some small farms, traditional hop harvesting methods are still being used. Farmers here manually harvest hops using sharp knives with the help of elevated work platforms. These lifts allow them to reach hop vines as tall as 20 feet, where they carefully cut each vine from the trellis. Once cut, the vines fall onto the trucks below or are manually pulled up for easier transport to the processing facility. On larger farms, however, The harvesting process has been fully mechanized. Automatic hop vine harvesters, equipped with razor-sharp cutting blades, can process hundreds of vines in just a few minutes. As the machine moves along the hop rows, its mechanical cutting arms slice the vines at both the top and bottom, causing the entire hop plant to drop onto a conveyor belt or directly into a truck below. These advanced machines can harvest between 48,000 and 108,000 pounds of hop plants per hour. Thanks to this technology, hop harvesting is now faster and more efficient than ever, ensuring the freshest ingredients for brewing. But if you think hop harvesting technology has already reached its peak, just wait until you see the most advanced machines in action. As these machines move along the rows of hops, mechanical arms or rollers gently touch the vines. Then the shaking mechanism kicks in, creating just the right amount of vibration to knock ripe hop cones loose, while the stems and leaves remain on the trellis. The hops are then collected by conveyor belts or an air suction system and transferred into storage bins on the machine or into a truck driving alongside. This method makes harvesting faster, more efficient, and gentler on the plants. Which harvesting method impresses you the most? If you had the chance, would you want to see a hop harvest in person? With modern hop harvesters, farmers can now collect hops in a fraction of the time, significantly improving productivity. It ensures a higher yield and maintains the quality of the hops, which is crucial for brewing. By reducing manual labor, hop harvesters also lower operational costs and make large-scale hop farming more sustainable. Another key benefit is consistency. Machines provide uniform picking, reducing damage to the delicate hop cones, and ensuring that only the best quality hops make it to the next stage of processing. This consistency is vital for brewers who rely on high-quality hops to produce great beer. After leaving the vast hop fields, the freshly harvested hops are immediately transported to the processing facility. But before they can become the key ingredient in a delicious brew, they must go through a meticulous processing journey. As trucks loaded with freshly harvested hop vines arrive at the processing facility, the real work begins. These long vines, still covered in hop cones, are lifted onto an automated conveyor system or mechanical crane, ready for the separation process. To do this quickly and efficiently, the facility uses massive hop picking machines, advanced mechanical systems equipped with rotating brushes, rollers, and vibrating conveyors. As the vines move through the machine, mechanical arms grip the stems and pull them through the rotating brushes, gently stripping the hop cones and allowing them to fall below. Immediately after separation, the freshly picked hops travel along a vibrating conveyor where high-powered air blowers remove small leaves, twigs, and other light debris. To ensure only the highest quality hops move forward, the final filtration system screens them once more before sending them to the next stage of processing. Meanwhile, the stripped hop vines are transported away for recycling into livestock feed or organic fertilizer, maximizing resource efficiency and reducing waste. After the sorting process is complete, the the hops move on to the next critical stage, drying. Fresh hops contain 75 to 80% moisture, and if not processed immediately, they quickly lose their quality. Inside the multi-level kiln, hops are spread in a thick layer, about 24 to 36 inches across drying screens, while high-powered fans blow hot air at 130 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit through each level. This process lasts 8 to 12 hours, with temperature and humidity carefully regulated to preserve the essential oils and natural aroma of the hops. Once finished, the hops retain only 8 to 10% moisture, making them ideal for long-term storage while maintaining peak quality. Right after leaving the drying kiln, the hops are still warm and require one final cleaning. As they move along the conveyor belt, airflow systems remove any remaining debris or unwanted particles. Once cleaned, the dried hops are transferred to cool storage, maintained at 32 to 41 degrees Fahrenheit, where they are held for a few hours to a few days to stabilize moisture levels before packaging. Finally, the dried hops are carefully moved by loaders to a specialized pressing system, where they are compressed into large square blocks before being packed. These 40 to 200-pound sacks are ideal for craft breweries that continue to uphold traditional brewing methods. In addition to whole cone packaging, a significant portion of the hops undergoes further processing in a milling system to prepare for pelletization. From the fields to the brewery, hops continue their journey to join malted barley, the key ingredient that shapes the unique flavor of beer. The first step in the beer-making process is to store the barley in a warehouse to begin the malting process. Malting is created by soaking the barley in water to trigger germination. In a controlled environment, the enzymes in the barley grains are activated, converting starches into sugars, which will later provide the energy needed for fermentation. Once this process is complete, the barley is dried and becomes malt, the next crucial step in the beer-making journey. Next, the malt will be transferred to milling equipment to be ground into a fine powder. This is the first step in extracting sugars from the malt. The ground malt is then mixed with hot water, which helps the water extract the sugars from the malt. Hot water is added gradually while stirring, and at a temperature of around 65 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius, the enzymes in the malt break down the starches into simple sugars, creating a sweet liquid. The liquid is then extracted and moved. Here, the water is drained off, separating it from the leftover malt solids. The malt solids can be repurposed as animal feed. The liquid is then boiled in brew kettles. This step is crucial for sterilizing the liquid and removing any unwanted bacteria, while also concentrating the flavors. During the boiling process, hops are added. Hops not only give the beer its bitterness, but also add distinctive flavors. The timing of when the hops are added varies depending on the type of beer being made, allowing brewers to control the bitterness and flavor profile of the beer. Afterward, the wort is quickly cooled down. The liquid is cooled to around 20 degrees Celsius to prepare it for fermentation. This process takes place in large containers that have been thoroughly sanitized to ensure no bacteria or contaminants get in. After fermentation, the beer undergoes strict quality checks to ensure it meets the highest standards. Finally, the beer is bottled in glass bottles or canned in stainless steel cans, ready for distribution. The bottles are sealed and labeled before being sent to warehouses, where they are then distributed to stores, supermarkets, or restaurants, so consumers can enjoy the results of this carefully crafted process. China, the undisputed king of the garlic world. Despite repeated allegations of using prison labor in its production chain, the country still churns out over 20 million tons of garlic every year, dominating more than 80% of the global supply and exporting to nearly every continent. And here's a fascinating fact you might not know. Garlic is an asexual plant. That means over the centuries, the quality and traits of the clove you're holding in your hand still carry the exact genetic imprint of its ancestors from generations past. But garlic isn't just biologically fascinating, it's nutritionally powerful too. It contains allicin, a powerful compound known to boost immunity, help prevent colds, and act as a natural biological shield that repels hungry insects in the fields, reducing the need for excessive pesticides. Interestingly, despite its humble nature, Americans aren't too fond of garlic cloves that look rough or imperfect. That's why Christopher Ranch cleverly tapped into this preference, focusing on producing higher quality, locally grown garlic. A strategy that helped the brand stand strong and weather the storm of cheap garlic imports from China. So, what do you think? Is overwhelming quantity or lasting quality the true measure of success in modern agriculture? And no matter where it's grown, the journey of garlic always begins in the fields, where around November, the first seed cloves are gently planted into the soil, marking the start of a slow but promising growing season. After about 7 to 8 months, when garlic fields begin to turn golden and the outer leaves start to dry, that's the familiar signal that farmers are about to reap the well-earned reward for their hard work. Harvest season has arrived. Using a specialized bulb harvester, a machine designed to gently dig up, lightly clean, and transport field-dried garlic bulbs in one continuous process with minimal human handling. A thin, sharp cutting blade glides gently beneath the soil, lifting the garlic bulbs from the ground with precision. Immediately afterward, a vibrating shaft or shaker table helps shake off any remaining soil around the bulbs while also separating the dried stems and leaves. These dried plant parts, which hold no commercial value, are discharged at the back, either left to decompose naturally on the field or collected for composting. With high capacity, a machine like this can harvest between 10 to 20 tons of garlic per day, depending on soil type and bulb dryness. It's an ideal solution for large-scale garlic production areas that supply industrial processing chains, such as peeling, oil extraction, drying, or freezing. However, large-scale harvesting often leads to uneven quality, which is why, for the premium market, each bulb must be hand-harvested, because there's simply no place for misshapen or unattractive garlic cloves. After being pulled, garlic is arranged in neat rows on the field, with the bulbs facing inward and the leaves overlapping to create shade, protecting them from harsh sunlight that could damage the skin or cause neck burn. Over about 5 to 10 days, the garlic gradually dries thanks to the sun and wind. Its skin tightens, becomes lighter in color, and its natural aroma becomes noticeably stronger. Garlic can only be harvested within a short window of a few weeks, as leaving it in the ground too long causes the bulbs to split, lose dryness, and diminish in flavor, making it crucial for farmers to complete the entire process within this narrow golden window to preserve crop quality. Although this process is more labor-intensive and time-consuming, it yields garlic bulbs that meet high commercial standards, easier to store, easier to sell, and more appealing to consumers who are willing to pay up to 50% more than the base price. At the end of the harvest season, truckloads of garlic roll toward the processing plant, where these pungent bulbs begin their next chapter, transforming into flavorful, convenient products, with enough punch to keep any vampire far, far away. As they arrive at the factory, tons of garlic still carrying the warm scent of sunlit fields are greeted by forklifts unloading towering crates into the warehouse, a resting place before the bulbs begin their journey through a magical production process. After their resting time in the warehouse, each crate of garlic is gradually awakened and moved to the pre-processing area. Here, the bulbs are gently poured onto conveyor belts where everything begins to reveal their destined path. Rotating shafts then work to loosen and remove dirt and debris from the garlic bulbs, preparing them for the next steps in processing. In modern factories, sorting is carried out using a vibrating mesh system, where each garlic bulb rolls across screens with standardized mesh sizes. Only those with uniform size, dry skin, and no bruises make it through this first checkpoint. Amid the gentle hum of the conveyor line is a constant rhythm of inspection. As each garlic bulb passes through, it is carefully examined one last time before officially entering the path of processing. After clearing the initial screening, the garlic bulbs are further sorted based on their intended processing purpose, with criteria such as color, size, and skin condition. At this stage, no machine can replace the keen, experienced eyes of skilled workers who can inspect and make decisions on up to 200,000 pounds of garlic each day. The plump, dry-skinned garlic bulbs, playfully nicknamed beauty queens of the field, are sent to the whole bulb packing line, where their appearance is carefully refined down to the smallest detail. The garlic passes through a size sorting machine, a multi-tiered vibrating screen system with different mesh sizes. Smaller bulbs fall through to the lower tiers, while medium and large ones are retained on their respective levels. Each tier has its own chute, directing the garlic to corresponding packing stations, ensuring perfect uniformity in every finished bag. In large-scale factories, this system can process up to 3 to 5 tons of garlic per hour, without a single bulb being touched by human hands. Not every customer has the patience or time to peel each garlic clove individually, which is why pre-peeled garlic products were created to offer quick, convenient, and time-saving solutions for modern living. Their journey begins inside a spinning machine, resembling a giant wok, where each garlic bulb is gently, yet decisively caught in a swirling motion. This rotation causes the outer layers to peel away, revealing the cloves still tightly clustered together inside. Immediately afterward, each clove is guided into a steaming chamber, where warm steam envelops every surface, penetrating every crevice of the skin, softening the thin outer layer until it's ready to be peeled away. Next, the garlic passes over a vibrating table, where carefully calibrated air pressure gently loosens the peeling skin without damaging the pure white cloves inside. The loosened garlic skins are not wasted. Instead, they are collected and recycled as nutritious feed for livestock, contributing to sustainable farming practices. Immediately afterward, the garlic is passed through an optical sorting machine, a modern device that uses light technology to precisely inspect each clove, detecting and removing those with defects, damage, or that fail to meet standards for color and size, ensuring satisfaction even for the grumpiest consumers. Garlic that meets the stringent quality standards undergoes a thorough washing process to remove any remaining impurities, followed by careful drying to preserve its freshness and flavor, before being meticulously packaged and prepared for distribution to kitchens around the world. The innovative marketing strategy for pre-peeled garlic products has captured up to 25% of the market share compared to traditional whole garlic bulbs, even though this method may cause the garlic to lose some of its essence. The unique aroma of garlic will lead you on a different journey, slower, deeper, and ending with a fragrance that's truly unmistakable. First, once the garlic cloves have been carefully sorted to ensure uniformity, they are seasoned according to specific recipes that typically include olive oil, sea salt, black pepper, and aromatic herbs such as rosemary or thyme. These ingredients are carefully mixed to enhance the natural flavor of the garlic and add subtle layers of taste. The seasoned cloves are then evenly spread out on large trays or arranged meticulously on conveyor belts to ensure consistent roasting. Following this preparation, the trays or conveyor belts transport the cloves into the industrial roasting oven, where controlled heat and airflow work together to slowly and evenly roast the garlic to perfection. Like baking an apple pie, controlling the temperature is the most important factor. The roasting temperature and duration are carefully adjusted, typically ranging from 160 to 180 degrees Celsius for 20 to 40 minutes, to ensure the cloves cook evenly while preserving their flavor and tenderness. In that warmth and darkness, the natural sugars in the garlic gradually transform, creating a glossy honey brown color. The sharpness nearly disappears, replaced by a mild sweetness, nuttiness, and a subtle smoky aroma, reminiscent of a mysterious savory jam. Although garlic offers many health benefits when consumed in moderation, about 1 to 2 cloves per day, excessive intake or combining it with certain medications, such as blood thinners, blood pressure drugs, or alcohol, can cause side effects like increased bleeding, excessive blood pressure reduction, or stomach irritation. Therefore, maintaining a balanced intake is advisable for good health. After coming out of the oven, the roasted garlic cloves are immediately transferred to the cooling area. There, an industrial fan system continuously blows cool air over the surface of the garlic, rapidly reducing its temperature. Timely cooling not only preserves the cloves' soft texture and necessary moisture, but also prevents microbial growth, thereby extending shelf life. Finally, each fragrant garlic clove undergoes thorough inspection to ensure quality and consistency before being carefully packaged and distributed to markets worldwide, ready to enhance kitchens everywhere. And that's the magical journey of each garlic clove, from the field to your table, bringing natural flavor and the power to ward off any vampires lurking in your kitchen. California is the heart of pistachio production in the U.S., accounting for a significant portion of the national output and standing as one of the top pistachio exporters in the world. The average selling price of pistachios ranges from $3 to $5 per pound, making this industry a substantial contributor to the U.S. economy. Pistachios thrive in climates with cold winters, which allow the trees to rest, and long, warm summers, ideal conditions for their growth. California, especially the Central Valley, offers the perfect soil for pistachio cultivation, thanks to its deep, loamy, well-draining characteristics. It takes about 3 to 5 years for a pistachio tree to start bearing fruit, so growing pistachios requires patience. Pistachio planting typically happens in early spring when the weather warms up, providing favorable conditions for the trees to adapt and grow. Pistachio trees are primarily propagated through budding or grafting to ensure uniformity and health of the plants. The seedlings are carefully cared for in the nursery, ensuring that they are provided with all the nutrients they need to grow. Once the grafted saplings have developed strong roots, they are transplanted to large orchards. The first step in planting pistachios is tilling the soil. The soil must be loose, well-draining, and nutrient-rich. Modern plows are used to efficiently till the soil. Farmers use tractors to place 1-meter stakes in the ground, which help mark planting spots and support young trees. Large orchards maintain a spacing of about 5 to 7 meters between trees. Next, a planting machine makes the process easier. These farmers, often immigrants hired by farm owners, plant trees at a wage of about $5 per hour. The saplings are placed on the machine, and the farmers gently lower them into pre-marked holes about 60 to 70 centimeters deep. They carefully set the trees in the holes, cover them with soil, and ensure they are firmly fixed in the ground. Finally, they secure the trees to the stakes to prevent them from falling over and to encourage upright growth. After completing the planting, farmers use machines to loosen the soil to help the soil become airy and create favorable conditions for the roots to grow better. After planting, regular watering is crucial in caring for pistachio trees. Large orchards typically use drip irrigation or rotating sprinklers. Drip irrigation is effective because it delivers water directly to the root zone, where it's most needed. Trees are watered daily to ensure they do not dry out. Fertilizing pistachio trees is a critical step to ensure their healthy growth and high yields. Fertilizers may be organic or synthetic, containing essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. On large farms, modern machinery is often used to distribute fertilizer efficiently. Farmers regularly prune pistachio trees, which can be done manually or with modern machinery, depending on the stage of tree growth. Pistachio trees face threats from diseases like leaf spot and dieback, as well as pests such as aphids. To keep the trees healthy, farmers regularly spray pesticides. Modern sprayers help farmers distribute pesticides evenly and effectively over a large area, ensuring that every part of the tree, from leaves to branches, is covered to prevent and treat infestations timely. After about 5 years, pistachio trees mature and begin to flower. In California, this usually happens from late March to early April. This period is crucial for ensuring effective pollination, as the warm, dry weather helps the wind to burst pollen, creating ideal conditions for fertilizing the flowers and setting the fruit. After pollination, pistachio fruits develop a hard, pinkish outer shell as they mature. The pistachio harvest season in California runs from September to October each year, when the nuts are ripe and the outer shell begins to crack open, revealing the hard inner shell that encases the nut. Before harvesting, harvesters check the readiness of the pistachios by sampling the nuts. If the outer shell fades in color and detaches easily from the inner shell, it indicates that the nuts are ready for harvest. Previously, harvesting was done manually, which was labor-intensive and costly. Farmers gently pluck bunches of fruit from the tree to avoid damaging the fruit. For fruit that is higher up, they climb all the way up the tree to pick it. Today, the harvesting of pistachios in California is a high-tech process performed with specialized equipment. Pistachios are harvested using shaking machines that include shaking arms, collecting units, conveyors, and storage bins, making the process swift. Farmers operate these machines, adjusting settings like conveyor speed and shaking intensity to suit the specific pistachio variety. The shaking arm, which can encircle the trunk or large branches, is positioned to fit the tree's size and shape, ensuring a firm grip without damaging the tree. Once in place, the shaking system is activated. The machine uses strong vibrations to shake the tree, causing the pistachios to fall onto a sloped collecting surface that leads them to a conveyor belt below. These modern machines help automate everything. However, they cost around $100,000, so they are only suitable for large farms. The nuts then move to the storage bin at the back of the machine. Once the bin is full, it is lowered, and another vehicle transports it to the shipping area. Here, the pistachios are loaded onto large trucks, ready to be taken to the factory for further sorting. Pistachios are loaded onto containers and transported to the factory for processing. After harvest, pistachios are taken to a processing plant where they undergo sorting and cleaning. Freshly harvested pistachios often contain a lot of debris, like leaves and dried twigs. Handling these nuts is a time-consuming process, so they're dumped into a pit that moves them to giant silos for storage. Here, they need to be rid of leaves, twigs, and dirt. The nuts travel on conveyors, where brushes and air blowers remove dust and smaller impurities. They pass through different conveyors that gradually eliminate contaminants. After the initial cleaning, pistachios are thoroughly washed in a specialized system using clean water to eliminate any remaining dust, shells, or stuck debris. They go through water tanks, then under strong water jets that use temperature-controlled water to ensure the quality of the nuts isn't compromised. Once washed, pistachios move to screening machines which feature multiple layers of screens with various hole sizes. These machines operate on vibration or rotation principles, allowing the nuts to move across the screens. Larger nuts are retained on screens with larger holes, while smaller ones fall through smaller holes. After being screened, the pistachios are put into a dryer to remove the water and keep the moisture of the fruit at an acceptable level. The nuts are then passed through metal detectors and X-ray scanners to ensure no metal contamination. After this, they are size sorted. After size sorting, the pistachios go to a selection machine. High-speed digital cameras inspect each nut, and those with any scratches or imperfections on the shell are discarded. Then, the clean nuts move to a manual sorting process, where they are visually inspected to ensure superior quality. Removing subpar nuts at this stage guarantees that the final product meets the highest standards of quality and safety. After manual sorting and meeting final standards, the pistachios may be packaged for export as raw or transferred to silos for storage. They could also be shelled to extract the pistachio kernels. These silos, as tall as apartment buildings, can hold hundreds of tons of pistachios. Conveyors transport the pistachios to these storage silos, helps pistachios to last longer. If the pistachios need to be packaged, then, from there, the nuts are taken to the packaging room. In our packaging room, we have multiple lines that can package according to different packaging specifications. The machines precisely weigh the nuts to ensure each package contains the correct amount of pistachios. California is the main producer of walnuts in the U.S., accounting for about 99% of the national output and is the world's leading exporter. With an average price of about $1.50 to $2 per pound, walnut farming contributes approximately $2 billion to the American economy. Walnuts thrive best in climates with cold winters, which allow the trees to rest, and long, warm summers, which are ideal for fruit development. The soil in California, especially in the Central Valley region, is well suited for walnut cultivation due to its deep, loose, and well-drained properties. Walnut trees begin to bear fruit after about 5 to 7 years, making the cultivation process a test of patience. The first step in the planting process is tilling the soil. The soil must be thoroughly prepared before planting walnut trees. It needs to be loose, well-drained, and nutrient-rich. Modern plows are used to till the soil. Walnut trees are best suited to soil with a pH of about 6 to 7. Walnuts can be grown from seeds and by grafting. Nurseries use grafting techniques to produce uniform quality seedlings, which helps ensure consistency in the quality of the plants. Nurseries also easily control factors such as temperature, nutrition, and water supply to optimize the growth of the seedlings. Once the saplings are large enough, they are taken to large farms for planting. Walnut trees are planted in straight rows, typically spaced 9 to 10 meters apart to give them enough room to grow. The saplings are placed directly into pre-dug holes, after which the farmer fills the soil around the roots and gently compresses it to eliminate air pockets, ensuring the tree is firmly secured in the ground. After the trees are planted, watering becomes an essential component to ensure good growth. To provide a steady amount of water to hundreds or even thousands of walnut trees, farms often employ modern irrigation systems. At this farm, a drip irrigation system is used, an efficient water-saving method that delivers drop by drop to the soil through a network of small-diameter plastic tubing equipped with tiny nozzles called drippers or emitters. Once the trees have reached the appropriate size, farmers perform pruning to improve sunlight exposure, enhance air circulation, and boost nut production. As the tree grows larger, pruning can be done with specialized machinery. Fertilizing and spraying pesticides are also especially important for the trees to grow well. Specialized machinery will be used in large walnut orchard. This is often done selectively, only when necessary and following strict guidelines to minimize any adverse effects on the environment and the health of the trees. The pesticides used must be approved and safe for walnut trees. After about 5 years, walnut trees mature and begin to flower. In California, walnut trees typically start flowering from late March to early April. This flowering period is crucial to ensure efficient pollination, as the warm air and minimal rain help disperse pollen by wind, creating ideal conditions for walnut trees to be pollinated and begin fruit setting. The walnut harvesting season takes place from September to October each year, when the walnuts are ripe and the outer hull begins to crack open, revealing the hard shell inside that encases the nut. The process of harvesting walnuts mechanically in California is a high-tech operation performed using a series of specialized equipment. Due to the large number of trees that need to be harvested in a short period, farms typically use shaker machines to harvest the nuts. Before this step, harvesters check the readiness of the walnuts by sampling the nuts. When the green outer hull of the nut starts to dry and can easily separate from the shell, this is a sign that the trees are ready to be shaken. The tree shaker is equipped with a mechanical arm that can encircle the trunk of the tree. This arm is padded to avoid damaging the tree bark. During operation, the arm adjusts to tightly fit around the trunk and then creates strong vibrations that shake the tree, causing the ripe walnuts to fall to the ground. The shaker can be adjusted to accommodate the size and firmness of the trunk, ensuring maximum efficiency without causing harm. The vibrations must be strong enough to dislodge the nuts but not damage the tree or branches. The fallen walnuts then cover the ground. To collect them, a mechanical sweeper is used to sweep the nuts into windrows, neatly arranged rows of nuts. The sweeper works by pushing the nuts into rows, preparing them for the next collection step. It then moves along the rows of walnuts, using a conveyor belt to collect the nuts. The walnuts travel on the conveyor belt to a container at the rear. As they move, debris and leaves are also removed. The machine is designed to gently collect the nuts without causing damage. After harvesting, the walnuts are loaded onto a conveyor belt and transferred to trailers or trucks for transportation to the processing facility. Upon arrival at the processing site, the walnuts are unloaded and transferred into a holding pit, leading to a second conveyor belt. Here, workers methodically inspect, sort, and remove any unwanted debris and contaminants among the nuts. After unloading, the nuts are moved to a mobile conveyor for elevation. This movement also aids in sorting the nuts until they reach the dehulling area. Walnuts are then passed through a water washing system to remove dirt. The harvested walnuts may contain debris or unripe nuts. The sorting system eliminates these parts before dehulling to prevent damage or contamination. The plant uses a drying system to process the harvested walnuts, transitioning them from their green outer hull to the familiar dry-shelled nuts ready for consumption or further processing. Dehulling is primarily performed by machines, with various types of dehullers such as mechanical disc or water tube dehullers, each employing specific techniques for efficient removal of the hull. After visually inspecting the product, the walnuts are transferred to another part of the facility where they are sorted by size. The most efficient method uses gravity, where the nuts are placed into a large container with holes of varying sizes for sorting. Holes on the surface or screen decrease in size, allowing smaller nuts to fall through at different points, only retaining those that meet standards. The dehulling process is performed by cracking the shells. For large-scale operations, mechanical shell cracking machines are the common method. These machines apply controlled pressure to crack the shells without damaging the nuts inside. Cylinders within the machine allow the nuts to move along, programmed to gently crack the shells to avoid damaging nuts. Afterward, the nuts are arranged to separate from the shell fragments. The workers are assigned the task of manually sorting the walnuts in this area. After sorting, the nuts are transferred to another area for drying. Newly dehulled walnuts have a high moisture content, making them prone to mold and spoilage. The drying process helps reduce the moisture content to a safe level, about 6 to 8%. There are several drying methods, one of which involves using mechanical dryers that circulate hot air around the nuts, effectively removing moisture. To ensure the nuts are not over-dried, workers regularly check the moisture content. Walnuts come in various varieties to meet market demands. To determine which nuts go into which product, quality tests are performed. Some nuts are suitable for snack products, while others are better for food production. Sterilization involves applying heat or other treatments to eliminate bacteria. The walnuts are then taken to the final quality control area, where workers manually inspect for any defects and remove any damaged nuts. Once approved, the nuts are packaged in various sizes and weights, ready for transportation and widespread distribution. California isn't just famous for its renowned vineyards. It's also the largest almond production hub in the United States. With a Mediterranean climate, this state has become an ideal land for almond trees to thrive. Almond trees love strong sunlight, and California's dry climate helps prevent fungal diseases, which often affect crops in humid regions. The soil in California is also well suited for almond cultivation, especially sandy loam and loam soils with good drainage. Farmers here focus heavily on monitoring soil pH, ensuring it always stays between 6.0 and 7.0, which is ideal for almond trees. The popular almond varieties grown in California include Nonpareil, Carmel, and Butte. Each has unique characteristics such as different nut sizes, flavors, and harvest times. These varieties are favored not only for their delicious taste, but also for their good resistance to weather and pests, helping to increase yields and reduce risks for growers. Almond trees typically take about 3 to 5 years from planting to start bearing fruit. Planting usually occurs in early spring when the weather is warmer. Before planting, farmers use plows to loosen the soil, making it easier for plants to grow. The machine will then till the soil into furrows, making it easier to plant almond trees in rows and easier to harvest later. Specialized drills are then used to drill holes in the ground into which the almond seedlings can be planted. In large orchards, trees are spaced 4 to 6 meters apart to allow sufficient room for growth. The planting holes are dug about 50 to 60 centimeters deep, with a layer of organic compost or well-rotted manure added to provide nutrients during the early growth phase. Almond trees are mainly propagated through budding or grafting. Once the saplings have developed strong roots through grafting, they are transferred to large orchards. The saplings are usually planted in early spring when warmer weather helps them adapt to their new environment. Tree planters or skilled labor are used to ensure efficient and quick planting. The saplings are placed in the holes, soil is covered over, and then watered to help the roots establish quickly. After planting a tree, the important things for its growth are watering, fertilizing, and spraying pesticides. Regular watering is essential in almond tree care. Large almond orchards typically use drip irrigation systems, which not only provide precise watering but also conserve water. Although almond trees are relatively drought-tolerant, they still need consistent watering, especially in the first few years after planting, to support strong and sustainable growth. The drip irrigation system works effectively by delivering water directly to the root zone, where it's needed most. This helps reduce water evaporation. Rotating sprinklers are also widely used, particularly in larger areas. These sprinklers use high water pressure to distribute water evenly across the orchard, ensuring optimal irrigation efficiency. They work by rotating in a circular pattern, covering a wide radius to reach as many plants as possible. This type of irrigation system is especially beneficial for orchards, as it prevents water pooling, reduces the risk of fungal growth, and provides consistent moisture for the trees. Additionally, rotating sprinklers can be easily adjusted to control water output, making them suitable for different soil types and weather conditions, further enhancing water use efficiency and promoting healthy plant growth throughout the orchard. Fertilizing almond trees is a crucial step to ensure healthy growth and high yields. Fertilizers can be organic or synthetic, typically containing nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium to provide essential nutrients for the trees. Modern machinery is used in large farms to apply fertilizers efficiently and effectively. Almond trees are susceptible to various diseases like leaf spot, brown rot, and almond scale. Farmers regularly spray pesticides to keep the trees healthy. Spraying machines help farmers distribute pesticides evenly and effectively over large areas. Almond trees typically take about 3 to 4 years from planting to begin flowering and bearing fruit. Almonds bloom from late winter to early spring, usually around February to March in California. The blossoms appear before new leaves grow, creating neat rows of trees covered in delicate, tiny flowers that transform the landscape into a romantic, ethereal scene. Under the gentle spring sunlight, this view brings joy not only to farmers, but also attracts thousands of visitors and photographers who come to witness and capture this breathtaking moment. During the blooming season, almond growers often rent or purchase bees to release in the orchards. Bees fly from flower to flower, collecting pollen, and in the process, they inadvertently pollinate the almond blossoms, which helps the trees produce nuts. This setup allows farmers to maximize their orchard's productivity, benefiting both almond pollination and honey production. After 6 months, the almonds turn brown and are ready for harvest. Specialized machinery is essential for almond harvesting. Tree shakers and nut sweepers are primarily used in this process. The tree shaker has an arm designed to grip the trunk or large branches of the almond tree. First, the shaker is positioned to match the size and shape of the tree. The machine's arm wraps securely around the trunk to prevent damage during shaking. Once in position, the vibrating system is activated, using strong vibrations to shake the tree, causing the ripe almonds to fall to the ground. After the shaker drops the almonds to the ground, the sweeper moves through the rows to gather them into a clear strip of soil. Equipped with a series of brushes or rollers, the sweeper collects almonds from the ground into narrow rows. Then, a nut harvester picks up the almonds, using rollers or brushes to lift them and remove larger debris, such as small branches, leaves, and stones. Additionally, some shakers come with a mesh attachment that catches falling almonds directly. This combined machine is more efficient, as it integrates both shaking and collecting in one. In some orchards where almond trees are arranged in rows, similar to vineyards, specialized shakers pass over the trees. These machines have multi-tiered rotating spindles with rubber-coated discs that shake the trees as they move along, causing almonds to fall onto a conveyor belt that transports them to a storage bin. While this method is modern and efficient, it doesn't fully remove debris like leaves and can sometimes cause slight damage to the trees. Right after harvest, almonds are gathered and transported by truck to storage facilities or directly to processing plants. Almonds are stacked in large piles, where temperature and humidity control are crucial to prevent mold growth or heat damage. Once the almonds arrive at the factory, they're unloaded directly from trucks into storage hoppers and moved to conveyor belts. First, the almonds go through a preliminary cleaning process to remove dust, leaves, and other debris. Next, they pass through specialized machines. Large branch removers eliminate unwanted branches, stone removers extract rocks and heavier materials, and small branch removers refine the process by removing smaller contaminants. After this initial cleaning, the almonds are sent to large storage bins to await further processing. In the next stage, the almonds go through gentle vibrating machines to loosen their outer shells, preparing them for shelling. The nuts are then directed to sorting tables, where advanced machinery separates the almonds from their shells and any unusable parts. At the quality control stage, each batch of almonds is thoroughly inspected for size, foreign materials, and imperfections. Any almonds that don't meet quality standards are discarded. Workers are paid $10 an hour to remove all the bad beans from the conveyor belt. The quality of almonds is also strictly controlled in the laboratory, helping to ensure the quality of the product. In the final stage, the almonds are sorted by size and packed into large containers based on market specifications. This process not only ensures the almonds reach consumers at the highest quality, but also adheres to strict food safety standards. This way, the almonds are safely stored and transported to retail outlets or further processed to meet customer demands. After screening, the almonds can be further coated with chocolate. The almonds are placed on a conveyor belt for further inspection to ensure that only quality nuts make it through. Next, chocolate is prepared by heating it to about 70 degrees, making it easy to coat the almonds. Chocolate is spread evenly into the compartments, and each almond is placed precisely into them. Workers then remove any excess chocolate. Finally, the chocolate-covered almonds are carefully packaged, ready for distribution to consumers or retail stores. Now you've gained an overview of how American farmers grow and harvest millions of tons of almonds each year. From selecting varieties and planting to modern harvesting methods, using tree shakers and nut sweepers, every step is done meticulously and scientifically to ensure high efficiency. So next time you enjoy a crunchy almond or a delicious almond pastry, remember all the hard work that went into bringing these almonds to you. Thank you for joining me in this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating insights into the world of agriculture. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.